Douluo, Supernatural Replication and Evolution System. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 1 begins. Douluo Continent, Xiandao Empire, Shenghan Village, an ordinary small village with only a few hundred people in the southern part of Xiandao Empire. On the hillside behind Shenghan Village, purple air came from the east and the sun was rising. A thin figure was seen jumping quickly on the hillside. It was a child of only 5 or 6 years old. Obviously, he often endured the warmth of the sun, and his skin showed a healthy wheat color. His short black hair looked very neat. Although his clothes were simple, they were clean. This is a 100-meter-high hill. For a child like him, it is not so easy to come up. But the strange thing is that when he reached the highest point of the mountain, his face was not red, and he was not out of breath. He looked leisurely. Suddenly a figure appeared in front of him. It was a teenager. The boy looked 8 or 9 years old. Although his face was tender, he had a sharp edge and a pair of beautiful star eyes. Although the clothes were not gorgeous, they looked good on this boy, forming a sharp contrast with the boy in front of him. Yes, this is the protagonist, Xiao San. You are still as slow as ever. Tang San said speechlessly. Not everyone is as weird as you, Xiao Tian. Tianyu just smiled and said nothing, then came to a stone and lay down, and began to think. Tianyu thought in his heart that he had been in this world for almost 6 years. When he first came to this world, he was an orphan and awakened the system. The system was called Wuhan Super God Evolution Replication System. The function of the system is the same as the literal meaning. It can replicate other people's martial arts and perform super god evolution, which is invincible. In the early stage, the system gave me a ring with unlimited gold soul coins, a martial arts method, and a bloodline of the supreme demon god level. It can be said that it is a super god start, and it is just a few super god level martial arts. It's a pity that you have to reach the age of 6 to replicate the martial arts. It just so happens that the protagonist of this world, Tang San, has 2 martial arts that are pretty good and can be replicated. Then he came to the Holy Soul Village and made friends with Tang San. Actually, Tang San, who has the soul of a nearly 30-year-old man in his body, would not care about me who looks like a little kid. But I also have the soul of an adult in my body. In addition, I have the skills given by the system and the special bloodline in my body, so my strength is much stronger than Tang San. So Tang San just treats me as a relatively precocious child. After all, Tang San can't beat me now, and of course he won't beat me in the future. Tomorrow is the day when Tang San awakens his martial spirit, and tomorrow my body can also start to copy other people's martial spirits. Blue Silver Emperor, Clear Sky Hammer, well, they are all top martial spirits in this world. I wonder what level of god level martial spirits they will be after Super God Evolution. I'm a little looking forward to it. Xiao San. Tang San, what's the matter? Xiao Tian. In fact, Tang San also had doubts about his precocious friend. After all, Tianyu looks like a rich kid in the city. He looks good at a young age, and he is much taller than his peers. What makes people doubt most is his strength. Is this the strength that a 6-year-old child can have? The 6-year-old Tang San who had practiced Zhuangshengguang couldn't even touch the corner of his clothes. If he hadn't been with him for so long and had never seen Tianyu show any malice, Tang San would have suspected that Tianyu was approaching him on purpose. Xiao San, tomorrow is the day for you to awaken your martial soul, right? I will go to cheer you up tomorrow. Yes, Xiao San, tomorrow is the day for the martial soul to awaken. Thank you for coming to cheer me up, but, Xiao San, don't you need to awaken your martial soul? Of course I have to awaken my martial soul, and tomorrow, but not in the Holy Soul Village. Oh. Tang San didn't care where Tianyu awakened. After all, Tianyu didn't look like someone who couldn't find a place to awaken his martial soul. Soon a day passed, and it got dark. At night, Tianyu took out a ring, injected spiritual power, and disappeared on the spot with a whoosh. That's right, he entered the ring. Tianyu, who entered the space spirit ring, walked in one direction. After a few steps, a huge palace with golden splendor and bright lights appeared in front of him. This ring was also given by the system at the beginning. Not only is the space huge, but the spiritual energy is also dozens of times richer than the outside world. Sleeping in this environment every night, it is hard not to become stronger. The space spiritual ring not only has a spiritual palace, but also a large number of spiritual herbs and spiritual pools. Picking any spiritual herbs and selling them will cost a sky-high price of gold soul coins, but there is no need, because he really has no shortage of gold soul coins. Lying on the soft big bed, Xiao began to think about what to do next after replicating Tang San's martial soul. What are the top martial souls on Douluo Continent? Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex, Evil Eye White Tiger, Evil Fire Phoenix, Soul Breaking Spear, 7 Killing Sword, Bone Dragon, 6 Winged Angel. These are all martial souls that can be used as replica objects. If you just simply replicate these top martial souls as a goal, isn't it a bit too boring? By the way, aren't there many stunning beauties on Douluo Continent? Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, Shui Binger, Ho Wu, Jin Ring Su. It seems that Bibi Dong is also pretty good. Well, I have decided on the goal, which is to conquer all the stunning female protagonists in the entire Douluo Continent, and then take them into my harem. I want to open a harem in Douluo. The next day, Tang San was taken by old Jack to awaken his martial spirit early in the morning, and Xiao had been waiting there for a long time. Tang San also saw Xiao. Tang San didn't expect that Xiao, a friend, would actually come to cheer him up. He felt warm in his heart. After all, even his father didn't come to cheer him up. If Xiao knew what Tang San was thinking at this time, he would probably think, not only will my martial spirit be a replica of yours, but even your wife Xiao Wu will be mine. If Tang San knew, he would probably say, MD, I treat you as a brother, and you actually want to sleep with my wife. The one who awakened Tang San's martial spirit was still the old Tula man, Su Yunteo. Tang San stood in a circle surrounded by 7 black round stones, and in front of him was a shining blue crystal. You all know what happened later. Although Tang San awakened the useless martial spirit blue silver grass, it was a very rare innate full soul power. After the awakening of the martial soul, Tang San walked out a little disappointed. Tianyu hurried over and put his hand on Tang San to comfort him, but in his heart he ordered the system, let me replicate Tang San's martial soul. The top martial soul blue silver emperor is detected. Does the host choose to copy it? The top martial soul clear sky hammer is detected. Does the host choose to copy it? Copy. The martial souls blue silver emperor and clear sky hammer have been copied successfully and stored in the system space. Does the host choose to evolve the martial soul into a super god? Okay, since Tang San's 2 martial souls have been replicated, there is no point in staying with Tang San now. He has no value for the time being, and it is time to plan to leave this place. Newcomers and new book friends who like this book can click to collect and support it. The author loves you. If you don't love it, please don't hurt it. You can leave quietly. Let me make this clear first, don't make trouble. I'm a new author, and I've just started writing novels. Some people may not be satisfied with what I write, but please be merciful and leave quietly. Don't try to make a name for yourself. The author has already made a statement. Chapter 2 Nottingham College. Xiao said goodbye to Tang San not long after, and returned to the Space Spirit Ring. After returning to the Spirit Ring, Xiao quickly summoned the system, give my 2 martial souls a super god evolution. Host, please choose the evolution direction of your martial soul, God Demon. You can actually choose the evolution direction of your martial soul. Compared to becoming a god, I still prefer to become a demon, so I choose demon. The martial soul of the Clear Sky Hammer is evolving to a super god. The martial soul of the Clear Sky Hammer has completed the super god evolution. Host obtains the martial soul, Chaos Sky Demon God Killing Hammer, super god level. Do you choose to fuse the martial soul? Fusion. Boom. A terrifying soul power rushed up from Xiaoyu's body. The terrifying soul power has been surrounding Xiaoyu. The black soul power enveloped the sky and tore the ground into black cracks, until a black magic hammer slowly condensed in Xiaoyu's hand. The Chaos Heavenly Demon God Killing Hammer is 3 meters long, the size can be freely controlled, and is mainly black and silver. There are mysterious patterns on the hammer body and the handle. The whole hammer gives people the feeling of mystery, power and dignity. Xiaoyu grabbed the handle of the hammer and swung it casually, but it burst out with terrifying power, directly hammering a dark crack in the ground inside the spirit ring. This martial soul is powerful, but the movement when it awakens is not small. Fortunately, It is in the spirit ring to fuse martial souls. One super god level martial soul is so powerful, what about two? The system will also make the remaining martial soul super god evolution, and then fuse it for me. Martial soul blue silver emperor is in the process of super god evolution. Martial soul blue silver emperor has completed super god evolution. Host obtains martial soul, soul chaos blue demon silver dragon soul gout devouring vine. Read separately, it is more domineering. Martial soul is fusing with the host. Boom. Damn. Once again, the terrifying awakening of the martial spirit erupted again on Tianyu. Soul power slowly condensed into vines emitting blue-silver light beside Tianyu. Countless blue-silver-black vines stretched out from the cracked ground. Each vine exuded waves of dragon power. The vines wrapped Tianyu into a ball. Wherever the vines covered, any life was absorbed and turned into powder. In the end, all the vines condensed into a mysterious grass in Tianyu's hand. The vines exuded the pressure of the dragon soul from the ancient dragon clan, the silver-blue dragon. That's right, the small vine actually has the blood and dragon soul of the strongest dragon clan, and it seems to have the special ability to absorb soul power. Isn't this much more powerful than the blue-silver emperor? Tianyu aimed at a towering tree and released a vine. 100-meter-high tree was instantly wrapped by countless blue-silver vines. The moment the tree was entangled by the magic vine, the life force in the tree was sucked away. Then the magic vine tightened slightly, and a 100-meter-tall tree was instantly crushed into powder. My current soul power is only level 20. Without the blessing of soul rings, the heavenly demon hammer and the blue demon vine are already so strong. How terrifying will they be with the blessing of soul rings? The host has obtained 2 super god level martial souls, and the host is rewarded with 20 growth type martial soul rings. Well, now I don't even need to go out to get martial souls. The system directly gives me 20 growth type soul rings. The system merged the soul rings into my martial soul. The soul ring is being merged. The soul ring has been merged. Congratulations to the host martial soul heavenly demon hammer, for obtaining the first soul ring. Soul ring age, 10,000 years. Soul skill, heavenly demon strike. Congratulations to the host martial soul heavenly demon hammer, for obtaining the second soul ring. Soul ring age, 10,000 years. Soul skill, heavenly demon divine punishment. Congratulations to the host, the soul devouring demon vine, for obtaining the first soul ring. Soul ring age, 10,000 years. Soul skill, dragon demon vine kill. Congratulations to the host, the soul devouring demon vine, for obtaining the second soul ring. Soul ring age, 10,000 years. Soul skill, demon dragon soul devouring. The first soul ring age is 10,000 years, so you can imagine the high quality of my body and the cultivation method. Now that I have both the soul and the soul ring, the next step is of course to find my wife Xiao Wu. In front of the Nodin College gate, just like the original plot, Tang San and old Jack were stopped by the Nodin College guard. The guard insisted that Tang San's admission letter was fake and would not let Tang San in, and then the master came to save the situation. After Tang San was brought into the college by the master, Tianyu also entered the college. When passing by the guard saw that Tianyu was a child and was alone, and then wanted to come over to stop him. As a result, he was directly shocked by the soul power released by Tianyu before he even got close. He froze in place. He could only start to move after Tianyu entered the academy, and then collapsed to the ground. That was the feeling of death, yes, the feeling of death. If he had taken another step forward at that time, he might have died. Tianyu was not afraid of any trouble if he killed the guard, let alone this kind of villain. What Tianyu hated most was this kind of villain who bullied others and bullied the weak and feared the strong. In this world, the life of a soul warrior is not worth much money, because he had met the dean of this academy a long time ago, and directly gave him 5 million gold soul coins, enough to buy the entire academy. Seeing that Tianyu was so generous and had such an extraordinary temperament, he was talented and approachable, and was sure that Tianyu must be a child of a big family who came out to experience, and then gave Tianyu the right to enter and exit anywhere in the academy, even the dean's house. He could enter and exit freely at any time, not to mention that it was just a guard dog, so what if he was killed? After entering the academy, Tianyu went directly to dormitory 7, because he had already made arrangements. As soon as he arrived at the door of dormitory 7, a boy walked up to Tianyu and said, "Are you new here? You don't look like it from your clothes." My name is Wang Xing, and my martial spirit is the war tiger, the future. Xiao Wu interrupted him and said, "Stop talking nonsense, come on." Wang Sheng was a little angry. He was the boss of Dormitory 7, but this new kid didn't give him face and didn't even let him finish his words. Wang Sheng went up and punched, but Xiao dodged it easily. Then Wang Sheng threw several consecutive punches, but Xiao dodged them all. I won't play with him anymore. He only knows how to use brute force but no skills. No wonder he was beaten by Tang San with one hand in the original book. He adjusted his posture, then punched Wang Sheng to the ground and made him lose his ability to fight. Wang Sheng got up from the ground and shouted to Xiao, "Boss, boss, from today on you are the boss of Dormitory 7. Xiao did not refuse, because in the original book, Dormitory 7 was a gathering place for working students. They were all poor children and were often bullied by students from other dormitories. Wang Sheng was also trying to protect them. He was not a bad person. Anyway, that's how it was written in the original book. At this moment, a crisp voice came from outside, "Is this Dormitory 7? Everyone looked towards the door at the same time, and their eyes were suddenly a little straight. I saw a pretty little girl standing at the door. She looked about the same age as Tang San and almost the same height. Her pretty little face was white and rosy, and her pink appearance was like a ripe peach, which made people want to take a bite. Although her clothes were very simple, she looked very neat. Her long black hair was combed into a scorpion braid that hung over her hips. A pair of big watery eyes showed curiosity. She also held a brand new school uniform in her hand. The students in the dormitory were all boys. Suddenly seeing such a beautiful little girl appear, they were all stunned. Chapter 3 Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu at the door blinked her big eyes, and when she saw that no one was paying attention to her, she looked up at the sign of Dormitory 7 on the door, and a sweet smile appeared on her face. "Hello, my name is Xiao Wu, the dance Wu." Xiao stepped forward and replied in a gentle tone, "Hello, my name is Dongfang Xiao, you can call me Xiao, or call me Brother Xiao, I am the president of this dormitory." Wang Sheng next to him was stunned. "Boss Xiao, you didn't treat me like this when you came." Xiao Wu's cute little face blushed slightly, because the boy in front of her was a little handsome and so gentle. "President Xiao, shouldn't you let me in first?" Before Xiao could speak, Wang Sheng jumped out and said, "We have a rule in Dormitory 7 that new students must show the strength of their martial arts spirits. So, please have a competition with the boss." Xiao Wu looked at Xiao a little strangely. "President Xiao, is it true?" Xiao nodded and said, "There is indeed such a rule." Xiao Wu put her school uniform aside, with a bit of excitement on her face. "Okay, then come on." Before Xiao could react, her right leg had already bent her knees and stood up, with her toes popping out instantly, heading straight for Xiao's chest. It didn't look like she had much power, but her speed was very fast, but in Xiao's eyes, it was still too slow. The body flashed to the left, avoiding the kicking foot, and at the same time, his right hand grabbed Xiao Wu's ankle. When Xiao's right hand just grabbed Xiao Wu's ankle, he suddenly felt his hand slip, and the grasp that was sure to win was lost. Don't ask why, just ask. It's because Xiao Wu's legs were too slippery. Next, Xiao Wu was basically attacking, and Xiao was on the defensive without moving. Xiao Wu was a little tired after several rounds of attacks, because Xiao's physical fitness and skills were several levels higher than Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu also started to get serious, and kicked again in an instant. Xiao stretched out his hand to block, but Xiao Wu used Xiao's arm to gain leverage, and raised his other leg, and climbed onto Xiao's other shoulder. At this time, the two of them looked very strange. Xiao Wu's two beautiful legs were wrapped around Tianyu's neck. With the help of Tianyu's shoulder, she leaned back and supported herself on the ground with her palms. Her soft legs were like springs, and she actually twisted Tianyu's neck and threw him backwards. Fortunately, Xiao Wu was young and was wearing pants at this time. If she had changed into a skirt, I'm afraid. Tianyu, who was thrown out, landed steadily. He was thrown out on purpose just now, because he knew that if he just used brute force to hold on, he might hurt Xiao Wu, which Tianyu didn't want to see. Xiao Wu, who threw Tianyu out, had already stood on the ground nimbly, turned around, and looked at Tianyu with a slightly red face. Because when Xiao Wu was riding on Tianyu's shoulders just now, the skin of her thighs was almost close to Tianyu's neck. Xiao Wu, who had never had contact with the opposite sex since childhood, was naturally a little shy. What's more, Tianyu was a gentleman and let her go the whole time. The last move was also deliberately made to throw her out. If Tianyu used brute force to hold on, Xiao might really get hurt. So after this fight, Xiao's favorability towards Tianyu soared. Very powerful. Can you tell me what technique you used just now? Tianyu asked Xiao humbly. Xiao smiled and said, this is called soft skills. It uses the softness and toughness of the body to launch skills. At this time, the dormitory and college students who had watched the game before were all stunned, especially Wang Xing, because he was defeated by Tianyu's one blow before, and this little girl was able to throw Tianyu out. He had already widened his eyes. He thought to himself, how come the part-time students who come this year are so powerful? Xiao chose a bed next to Tianyu, took off her luggage from her back and put it together with her school uniform. At this time, another figure appeared at the door. Yes, it was Tang San. Tang San was also a little surprised when he saw Tianyu for the first time. Xiao, are you also here to study if not in college? Tianyu also saw Tang San, of course, and said to Tang San, yes, I am here to study too. Tang San did not doubt anything, but just found a bed and lay down. But Tianyu thought to himself, study? How is that possible? What can this school teach me? I am here to seduce your wife. Wang Sheng was surprised. There are also part-time students? Why are there so many part-time students this year? I wonder how strong this part-time student is. He won't be better than me. So he said to Tianyu, boss, do you know this part-time student? What's the relationship? Is he strong? Do you need to test him? Yes, I know him, we are friends, it's okay, no need to test him, anyway, he is better than you. Wang Sheng was about to cry. Wang Sheng, who of you can tell me about the situation in our college? Tianyu asked everyone after returning to his bed. At this time, these students gradually reacted from their shock, and they didn't even notice that there was another newcomer. The way Xiao Wu threw Tianyu just now was so neat that it shocked them a little. Wang Sheng stood up again. We, the working students, are actually responsible for cleaning the academy. The specific work is arranged by the teacher who is in charge of us. The school has a total of 6 grades, with 1 class in each grade. You and Xiao Wu are new here, and you should be in the 1st grade of the academy. The rest of us are at least in the 3rd grade. I am promoted to the 6th grade this year. The academy has classes in the morning and practice in the afternoon. There are usually 2 classes in the morning, one is a cultural knowledge class, and the other is a martial arts class. Most of us working students have some work in the afternoon, so as to earn some income as food expenses. Wang Sheng briefly introduced the other students. Among these working students, Wang Sheng has the best martial arts soul innate soul power. Not only is he a beast soul, but he is also the king of beasts with strong combat power. His soul power has reached level 9. If he is promoted to one more level, he can participate in soul beast hunting when he graduates, and thus obtain the title of soul ring upgrade. After listening to Wang Sheng's words, Xiao Wu looked at Tianyu curiously and said, Tianyu, what is your soul power level? I felt that your physical fitness is very strong just now. Xiao Wu called Tianyu by his name instead of calling him President Tianyu. This is the benefit of improving favorability. It is estimated that Xiao Wu will soon be able to call Tianyu brother. I have innate full soul power, Tianyu said and released his soul power. It is indeed level 10 innate full soul power, but this is the soul power released after being suppressed by the system's skills. Otherwise, the innate level 20 soul power is indeed a bit too high profile. He doesn't like to act in a high profile manner. Xiao Wu blinked her beautiful eyes and said, it's actually innate full soul power. No wonder Tianyu you are so powerful. Tianyu had just released his soul power, and the students in the dormitory were stunned. Damn it. Innate full soul power, they have never seen it in their lives. No wonder the boss is so strong. Chapter 4 Tianyu and Xiao share a quilt. Tianyu couldn't stand their inexperienced look, and pointed directly at Tang San lying on the bed and said, Tang San also has innate full soul power. At this time, the students in the dormitory realized that there seemed to be an extra person in the dormitory. The students in the dormitory went to find Tang San again and said to him, Tang San, are you really innate full soul power? Tang San didn't say anything, but directly released his innate full soul power. When feeling Tang San's innate full soul power, all the students in the dormitory were shocked. After the students in the dormitory felt Tang San's soul power level, they confirmed that Tang San really had innate full soul power. Damn! There are actually two big guys with innate full soul power in our dormitory. This time, those guys in the dormitory should not dare to bully us part-time students anymore. Tianyu, what is your martial spirit? Mine is a cute rabbit, a soft-bone rabbit. Xiao Wu asked curiously with her beautiful eyes blinking. My martial soul is the blue-silver vine. A small blue-silver grass slowly condensed in Tianyu's palm. It's true that after Tianyu suppressed the magic vine bloodline, it really looked a bit like the blue-silver grass, but the color was brighter than the blue-silver grass, and it was mixed with some red. The class suddenly rose, and people could tell at a glance that this martial soul was extraordinary. Xiao Wu asked in confusion, Tianyu, your blue-silver vine looks like blue-silver grass. My martial soul, the soft-bone rabbit, likes to eat blue-silver grass the most. However, your magic vine is so special. It is obviously not as weak as the blue-silver grass. It is obviously a plant-type martial soul, but its shape is like a dragon, and it exudes dragon power. I just don't know if your blue-silver vine is delicious. Xiao Wu, do you really want to eat it? Do you want to try it? Really? Of course, it doesn't consume much soul power. After saying that, Tianyu began to condense a new magic vine in his hand. As a result, the condensed magic vine was a little big, and Xiaoyu's small mouth seemed to be unable to fit it. Tianyu condensed a smaller blue-silver vine again and handed it to Xiaoyu. Obviously, this blue-silver vine was different from the one Tianyu condensed casually. Obviously, this one was a gathering of essence. Xiaoyu took the blue-silver vine and took a bite gently. After all, the blue-silver vine did not look bad. It was not the kind of black and hard. On the contrary, it was still a very beautiful blue and silver color. For Xiaoyu, whose body was a bone-rubbing rabbit, it was a natural temptation. Xiaoyu only took a bite, and her eyes suddenly lit up, and even her two rabbit ears shook happily. Brother Tianyu, it's so delicious, much more delicious than the blue-silver grass, and my soul power seems to have increased. Tianyu thought to himself, this is a super god-level martial soul. How can I do it without some special abilities? The one Xiao just ate was given the magic vine's special skill gift, which can increase the eater's soul power by 1 level. Of course, the magic vine has more than one special ability, such as the magic vine's other special skills parasitism and puppet. Each one is more terrifying than the other. Xiao Wu's soul power suddenly increased by 1 level, and the students in the dormitory were also stunned. Eating a grass can increase the soul power by 1 level. Question mark. They can say that they can eat a ton. Seeing that the students in the dormitory were all looking at him, Tianyu also said that he only had one. When Tianyu said that there was only one of this kind of thing, Xiao felt warm in her heart, thinking, this kind of elixir that can instantly improve soul power must be very precious, and Tianyu said that he only had one, but he gave it to me. But at this time, Tianyu thought in his heart, how could I only have one, and this is just condensed by my soul power. If I want, I can condense a lot, but it is useless to me, because my two martial souls are both super god level martial souls, and the energy required to upgrade soul power is huge. Even if the soul power is only upgraded by 1 level, the energy required is thousands of times that of other soul masters. This is the case with only 2 super god level martial souls. As more and more super god level martial souls are added in the future, the energy required will naturally become more and more terrifying, so this little energy is harmless to him. At this time, a teacher in his 30s walked in from outside the door and said, are Tianyu and Tang San here? Tang San and Tianyu stood up on their beds at the same time. This teacher had an ordinary appearance, light green hair, and held 2 brand new quilts in his hands. He gave the 2 quilts to Tang San and Tianyu respectively, and then left. Tang San's quilt was of course arranged by the master, and Tianyu's was arranged by himself. As for why only 1 quilt was arranged, you will know later. Quilt? This seems to be a problem. Xiao Wu stared blankly at the quilt in Tianyu's hand, with a bit of embarrassment in her eyes. Tianyu also saw that Xiao Wu had no quilt, so he handed the quilt in his hand to Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu looked at the quilt handed over in front of her, and her heart warmed again, But when she thought about what Tianyu would use to sleep if she used this quilt, she mustered up the courage to say to Tianyu, that, "Brother Tianyu, we can actually use this quilt together, for example, put the beds together." Xiao Wu looked at Tianyu after she finished speaking, afraid that Tianyu would dislike her and didn't want to use it with him. Okay. Unexpectedly, Tianyu agreed very readily, which made Xiao Wu relieved. Tianyu put the two beds together. Xiao Wu was in charge of making the bedding, and Tianyu specially arranged a big one for them. Although there was only one pillow, it was enough. The students in the dormitory watched Tianyu put the beds together and Xiao made the bedding, just like a couple. They were envious. Tang San looked at Tianyu, always feeling as if something was taken away from him. But it seemed that nothing was taken away, and he always felt that there was a green light shining on his head. Ling. Congratulations to the host for plundering part of the protagonist's luck and getting a special reward package. Luck can be said to determine how far a person can go in the future, just like Tang San was originally the person with the highest luck in this plane, which is what we often call the son of the plane. The strong people in Douluo Continent have more or less good luck, such as the several companions around Tang San in the original work. It's a pity for Tang San. The appearance of this plane of me is destined to make you no longer the protagonist. Wang Xing said, "It's getting late, it's time for lunch. Tianyu, Xiao, Tang San, let's go together." When she heard about food, Xiao jumped up immediately and said excitedly, "Okay, what delicious food to eat." Wang Xing and the other part-time students looked at each other and smiled bitterly. What good food can we part-time students eat? Just buy some cheap food in the cafeteria to make do. Tang San shook his head and said, "You guys go, I won't go." The family was very poor, and Tang Hao's money was all exchanged for wine. In order not to go hungry, he specially brought some dry food, which was a coarse cake he made himself. It's okay to have some simple preserved fruits. I will get my salary after I start working the day after tomorrow. Looking at the patches on Tang San's body, Wang Xing vaguely understood what he meant, and didn't force it. "Boss Tianyu, Xiao, let's go. I am a new author. Can you book friends give me a 3-link quality, because this is really important to me, I thank you all here." Chapter 5, Cafeteria Incident. The excitement on Xiao Wu's face suddenly froze. Does it cost money to eat? That's soul coin or something. If it weren't for her good relationship with Tianyu, Wang Xing would probably scold her. Is it necessary to say that eating costs money? Who would give a free lunch? But he could also see that Xiao Wu was probably as short of money as Tang San. At this time, Tianyu spoke. "Let's go, Xiao Wu, don't worry, I'll treat you. Tang San, come too." Tang San hesitated for a moment, but still agreed. He never had a concept of money, and Tianyu's straightforwardness was very much to his taste. Including Tang San and Xiao Wu, a group of 11 people left the 7th dormitory and walked towards the cafeteria under the leadership of Wang Xing. The cafeteria was in the teaching building and had to cross the entire playground. At this time, there were already many people on the playground, and many students in school uniforms could be seen walking towards the cafeteria building, obviously going to eat. On the way, many senior female students in the academy frequently looked at Tianyu and his group. Of course, they were all looking at Tianyu, because Tianyu's appearance really crushed the boys in the academy, and he was still so young. Children in Douluo Continent are relatively precocious, just like Zhu Zhuqing in the original novel when she first appeared. She was only 12 years old and her figure was so excessive. It was estimated that Zhu Zhuqing had a D score at the age of 12, Ning Rongrong also had a C score, and Xiao Wu was the youngest but also had a B score. The 6th grade female students in the academy should also be about 11 or 12 years old, but their looks are much worse than those of the heroines in the original novel, and they are not worthy of them. The cafeteria of Notting Junior Soul Master Academy is very large, enough to accommodate 6 classes and teachers for more than 300 people to eat. At this time, a long line has formed at the cafeteria window. The cafeteria is divided into 2 floors, and there are 300 seats in the first floor hall alone. Isn't this Wang Sheng's gang of poor guys? As soon as he entered the cafeteria, a discordant voice came over. Tianyu looked in the direction of the voice, and saw a group of senior students standing on the stairs of the 1st and 2nd floors, looking down at them. The one who spoke was a handsome male student, about 11 or 12 years old, with a strong disdain in his eyes, shaking his finger at Wang Xing, A poor guy is a poor guy. I'm afraid you will never be able to eat on the second floor. Xiao almost laughed out loud. After coming to this world, the last thing he lacked was money. He didn't expect that one day he would be called a poor guy. And now I am the boss of the 7th dormitory. How dare you scold my little brother? What the hell is barking there? After saying that, he released his soul power. After feeling Xiaoyu's soul power, the group of senior students were shocked. What a strong soul power fluctuation. A senior student said, this soul power is at least to the level of a great soul master. Another senior student said, how is it possible? The soul power is already level 20, shouldn't he have graduated and left school long ago? The boy who scolded Xiaoyu was a pauper at the beginning was even more shocked. Because his grandfather happened to be the principal of this school, and his grandfather told him that a boy with a very terrifying and mysterious background had recently come to the school. He was already a level 20 great soul master at a young age. You have to know that he was 12 years old and his soul power was only level 18, and the boy was a few years younger than him, but his soul power was much higher than him, the number one genius in the school. Grandpa said that this is a person who must not be provoked. If I provoke him, he will break my legs. After all, someone who can casually take out 5 million gold soul coins, enough to buy half of Not in College, must have a rich and powerful boss behind him. The boy's forehead began to sweat, and he thought to himself, it can't be really him. But why would such a person be with those paupers in the 7th dormitory? Are you called Dongfang Xianyu? The young man asked guiltily. Xianyu did not answer directly, but asked, what do you think? The young man was even more panicked at this time. Now he was 100% sure that the young man in front of him, who was 1,000 times more handsome than him, was definitely the one his grandfather mentioned. So you are young Master Xianyu. I'm sorry. I have a foul mouth and offended you and your friends. I'm really sorry. Please forgive my foul mouth. After saying that, he slapped himself twice. Xianyu was also a little confused. Wasn't this guy quite arrogant just now? Didn't he just know my name? Why did his attitude suddenly change so much? Xianyu asked the somewhat nervous young man in front of him, are you Chen Ming? After the dean of this academy took my money, he said that he had a grandson who was also a student of this school. His name was Chen Ming. It turned out to be this guy. Yes, it's me. It seems that Grandpa should have mentioned me in front of you. Can young Master Xianyu forgive me? Forget it, since you are the grandson of that old man, let's forget about it this time, just go and have your meal. Wang Sheng and the others standing nearby were all stunned, as were the group of people who had noticed the fluctuations in the soul power released by Xianyu from the beginning and were ready to eat melons. A student said, damn, who is this great god? This is too awesome. Just the name scared Chen Ming, the most arrogant person in the academy, and he apologized humbly and begged for forgiveness. Many female students who came to eat saw Xianyu's heroic figure and their eyes were full of peach blossoms and they sent him flirtatious glances, although Xianyu did nothing but stood there. There were also many teachers from Not in College in the cafeteria, who could feel that the soul power released by Xianyu was at the level of a great soul master, and they were all amazed. Compared with this young man, Chen Ming, the strongest genius in their academy, was nothing. The master in the distance was watching all this. Such a young great soul master, could he be from the spirit hall? The master is mainly worried about Tang San. Xianyu suddenly didn't want to eat this meal, because he didn't like brainless plots like pretending to be cool and getting slapped in the face. Ling. Congratulations to the host for pretending to be cool, and you will be rewarded with a special gift package. It smells so good. Xianyu and the others finally went upstairs, ate a little and left. Back in the dormitory, Wang Xiang couldn't wait to ask Xianyu, Boss Xianyu, who are you? Why did that arrogant Chen Ming become so scared after knowing your name, boss? You are not a young master from a big family who came out to gain experience. Other students in the dormitory also wanted to know who Xianyu was. Even Tang San, who had known that Xianyu must be extraordinary, wanted to hear Xianyu's explanation. Oh, it's nothing, it's just that my family has a little money. Xianyu casually found a way to explain the past. He couldn't just say that he had a system. They didn't ask any more questions. After all, there are some things that you can't know too much about, and Xianyu's attitude was obviously perfunctory, indicating that he didn't want to say too much. It was getting dark, and at night, Xiao Wu of course slept with Xianyu. After all, They were both 6-year-old bodies, so there were not so many taboos. Xiao slept in her bed, and Tianyu slept in his own bed, which was still some distance apart. The concept of soul coins in the book was written by the author at random, because it was not written very clearly in the original book, so the author just wrote a number at random. If you think there is something wrong, please show mercy. The humble author here asks the book friends for a 3-link quality. Thank you very much. Chapter 6 Demon General Dark Holy Dragon. Tianyu was lying on the bed in the dormitory. His mind entered the space spirit ring, but his physical body was still in the dormitory. Because the system rewarded 2 gift packs today, he was so busy showing off during the day that he forgot to open them. He only remembered them at night. Open the gift pack first. Ling. The gift pack is opening. Ling. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 10 random Magic General times. Magic General? The system's product must be a fine product. Draw once first. Ling. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 98th level Super Douluo Magic General Goo. Times -1 inches. A black abyss crack appeared in the space in front of Tianyu. In the abyss, a demon general wearing magic armor, holding a giant magic axe, tall in stature, with 2 pairs of black giant horns on his head slowly walked out and came to Tianyu, then knelt on one knee. Goo, meet the Lord. Tianyu didn't expect that his luck would burst out the top-grade Magic General Goo in the first shot. System introduction of Demon General Goo, Soul Level, Level 98 Super Douluo, Martial Soul, Cation Demon Axe, Bloodline Power, Panmo Power, True Strength can rival Demigod. Demon Generals do not have 7 emotions and 6 desires, but they have intelligence and their own thinking, which allows them to display powerful combat skills in battle, and they have extremely strong learning ability, which allows them to learn the opponent's combat skills and experience in every battle. This is the most perfect warrior, with a God-level martial soul and bloodline power, basically invincible in battles with soul masters of the same level, and absolutely loyal to the host. Sure enough, the system's products must be top-notch. This is too awesome. Just having this demon general, basically I'm already walking sideways in the early stage, unless the 2 strongest martial souls, Bibi Dong and Jin Daoliu, 2 level 99 ultimate Douluo, come together to mess with me. The system continues to extract demon generals. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the level 97 Super Douluo Demon General Chen. Times -2 Congratulations to the host for obtaining the level 96 Super Douluo Demon General Shaq. Number 3 2 more Super Douluo level demons were born from the void and appeared in front of Tianyu, kneeling on one knee. The 97th level demon was a sword-wielding demon, and the 96th level demon was a knife-wielding demon. The system continues, extracting all at once. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a level 94 demon. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a level 94 demon. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a level 93 demon. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a level 93 demon. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a level 92 demon. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a level 89 demon. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a level 79 demon. Number 7 In the end, there were 3 Super Douluo level demons, 5 Title Douluo level demons, 1 Soul Douluo level demon, and 1 Soul Saint level demon. If Tianyu was a little worried about pretending to be cool before, now Tianyu is not worried at all. Is this gift pack so good? Do I have to live like someone I hate? There's still 1 gift pack that hasn't been opened yet. The luck gift pack must be higher than this gift pack. The system will open the remaining luck gift pack for me. Ling. The luck gift pack is opening. Ling. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Martial Spirit Dark Holy Dragon Martial Spirit, which can be evolved into a Super God. Ling. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a full set of Ancient Demon Dragon Soul Bones. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Super God level Artifact Ancient Demon Dragon Sword. Ling. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Super God level Equipment Ancient Demon Dragon Armor. The system checks the properties of the item. The Ancient Demon Dragon Soul Bone set is divided into 6 sets: Head Soul Bone, Torso Soul Bone, Right Arm Bone, Left Arm Bone, Right Leg Bone, and Left Leg Bone. Each Soul Bone is a growth Soul Bone. The Soul Bone will be sublimated in age according to the increase in the host's soul power. The Soul Bone can be switched freely without cutting off the arm to remove the Soul Bone. There are no side effects yet. Ancient Magic Dragon Sword, a Super God level weapon, Made from the dragon horn of the strongest dragon clan, the ancient magic dragon. It is the sharpest sword in the world and can cut off everything in the world. The stronger the host is, the stronger the sword will be. Ancient magic dragon armor, a super god level armor, also made from the dragon scales of the strongest dragon clan, the ancient magic dragon. It can block all elemental attacks in the world. The defense depends on the strength of the host. The stronger the host is, the harder the magic dragon armor is. Sure enough, the system never lets me down, it only brings me surprises. It's just a pity for this family of ancient magic dragons, with soul bones, magic swords, magic armor and so on. I guess they were all wiped out by the system. Host, please rest assured that the items distributed by the system to the host are all created by the energy of the system, and there is no such thing as obtaining them from other planes. Things of this level can be created at will. I don't know what kind of existence the system is, or what kind of existence is behind the system. I guess we will know the answers in the future. These rewards cannot be integrated for the time being, because my physical body is still in the dormitory of not in college. Only when the physical body returns to the spirit ring can they be integrated. However, since my spirit entered the spirit ring just now, it seems that there has been a warm thing in my arms on the other side. The spirit returned to the body, and I found that it was Xiao Wu in my arms. I have to say that Xiao Wu's sleeping face is really cute. Tianyu wanted to pull Xiao Wu away, but as soon as his hands separated Xiao Wu a little, the expression on Xiao Wu's face suddenly became very uncomfortable, and she said, "Mom, don't leave me. This makes me very embarrassed. If you call me Dad." Damn, how could I have such an evil thought? Well, to be honest, the character of Xiao Wu is actually quite pitiful. If it were you and your mother lived happily in a comfortable place, and suddenly one day a group of uninvited guests broke this comfort and killed your mother. What do you think you would think? Don't worry, Xiao Wu, let me protect you in the future. I don't know if I can resurrect Xiao Wu's mother in the future. By the way, Xiao Wu's mother is also very beautiful. Why did such an evil thought appear in my mind again? The next morning, the sun shone into dormitory 7. Xiao Wu stretched her body, revealing her white waist. I slept so comfortably since that day, she hasn't slept so peacefully for a long time. Huh? Why am I on Tianyu's bed? Wasn't I sleeping on my own bed last night? Did I throw myself into Tianyu's arms and roll onto his bed last night? And I remember I seemed to have a dream last night, and this dream was very warm. Thinking of this, Xiao Wu's face suddenly turned red. Where's Tianyu? Of course Tianyu got up early and ran back to the space spirit ring. In the space spirit ring, Tianyu fused all 6 soul bones. Anyway, the body was empty anyway, so he might as well install them. At worst, he could replace them with better soul bones in the future. Now that the soul bones have been fused, the next step is to fuse the Dark Holy Dragon Martial Soul. The Dark Holy Dragon is a martial soul that appeared in Douluo 2, and it corresponds to the Light Holy Dragon Martial Soul. I remember that Master's Luo Sanpao was the product of the failed evolution of the Light Holy Dragon, but I don't know if the Martial Soul can be copied. System, evolve the Dark Holy Dragon Martial Soul into a Super God and fuse it. Ling. The soul of the Dark Holy Dragon is evolving. I am a new writer, and it is not easy to create. I hope my fellow book friends will support me. If you have tickets, please help me vote. I would like to thank you all here. Chapter 7, the replica of the Golden Holy Dragon enters the Soul Hunting Forest. Ling. The Dark Holy Dragon Martial Soul has evolved. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Martial Soul Chaos Dark Ultimate Holy Demon Dragon Kingdom. The Martial Soul has evolved beyond the god, and is in the process of merging with the Martial Soul. The Martial Soul is very large, so please bear with it. Boom. Chaos and darkness descended, and the entire spirit world was instantly enveloped by the chaotic dark energy. The vast spirit world became pitch black, and Tianyu was completely wrapped in the chaotic energy. No, Tianyu was more like bathing in the chaotic dark energy. In an instant, the chaotic energy in the entire spirit world began to gather towards Tianyu, until it gradually condensed into a soul of Chaos Dark Ultimate Holy Demon Dragon King. The Ultimate Holy Demon Dragon King of Chaos Darkness, with a pair of black domineering huge dragon horns at the head of the dragon. Every black dragon scale on the huge dragon body shines with strange light. 4 black dragon claws seem to be able to tear the space apart. A pair of black dragon wings spread out behind the dragon body, Like the wings of a devil, a pair of dragon pupils like the abyss, there is a feeling that you will be sucked into the endless darkness as long as you look at it. Is this the pressure from the super god level top dragon clan? Under this pressure, the soul beasts with ordinary bloodlines probably can't even release it. Ling. Congratulations to the host, the martial soul fusion is complete. The martial soul has been obtained. How can the powerful soul ring be missing? System, equip my holy demon dragon martial soul with 2 higher end soul rings. Ling. The growth type martial soul ring is being fused. Ling. The martial soul ring fusion is complete. Ling. Congratulations to the host martial soul holy demon dragon, for obtaining the first soul ring, year, 10,000 years, soul skill, demon dragon annihilation fisting. Congratulations to the host martial soul, holy demon dragon, for obtaining the second soul ring, year, 10,000 years, soul skill, demon dragon fluctuation dark energy / system, check the soul ring skill introduction. Demon dragon annihilation fist, concentrates soul power in the hand, converts soul power into the annihilation energy exclusive to the holy demon dragon, and punch it out, instantly bursting out with the power to annihilate everything. Demon dragon fluctuation dark energy / concentrate soul power into a long sword, convert a long sword into the dark energy exclusive to the holy demon dragon, and slash it out with a sword to burst out with the power to annihilate everything. Well, not bad, 2 more high explosive soul skills. Annihilation fist. A black soul ring floated from Tianyu's body, and Tianyu punched a huge rock in front of him. The moment the huge rock was touched by the annihilation fist, it was torn into pieces by the annihilation energy, and finally turned into ashes and disappeared in this world. Such a strong destructive power. Let's try the power of the second soul skill. The second black soul ring floated up from Tianyu again, and he used the dragon dark energy / to hide a huge rock in the distance. A long sword carrying dark energy shot directly at the huge rock in the distance, and the huge rock was easily chopped into pieces by the dark energy /. The remaining rocks were annihilated into nothingness by the dark energy. Another good explosive soul skill. After awakening the dark holy dragon, Tianyu came out of the spirit world. After Tianyu came out of the spirit ring, he planned to go back to the dormitory and Xiao Wu to continue to improve his favorability. But on the way, he met Master and Tang San, who were about to take Tang San to the soul hunting forest to obtain soul rings. Tianyu came to Tang San and Master. It was the first time he had seen Master since he came to the academy. He didn't know if the trace of golden holy dragon blood in Master's martial soul could be reproduced. But as soon as he walked near Master, he already knew the answer, because the system in his mind had already sounded. Ling. It is detected that the character Master has the blood of the golden holy dragon martial spirit. Does the host choose to replicate it? Replicate. System, don't ask me about this kind of thing in the future. Just replicate it for me when you meet a powerful martial spirit. Xiao San, Master, where are you going with your luggage? Tianyu asked knowingly. Tang San said, Xiao Yan, Master said he would take me to the soul hunting forest to get my first soul ring. Tianyu thought to himself, soul hunting forest? It just so happens that I have been in this world for a while. The soul beasts I have encountered are all weak soul beasts with no strength. I haven't seen those powerful soul beasts yet. It just so happens that I can go and see how powerful those so-called powerful soul beasts are. So he said to Tang San, that's just right, I am also planning to go to the soul beast forest, how about we go together? Tang San looked at the master with an inquiring look, and the master nodded in understanding. He had seen Tianyu from a distance in the cafeteria last time. The first impression Tianyu gave him was that he had an extraordinary temperament, was unfathomable, and was very mysterious. Soon the 3 of them arrived at the outer entrance of the soul hunting forest. The soul hunting forest is a soul beast forest surrounded by a 100-meter high wall. There are many powerful soul beasts of high age in it. Although they cannot compare with the 2 in the starred-out Great Forest, the quality of the soul rings that are exposed after the soul beasts are hunted is still good, so many people come here every day to hunt soul beasts and obtain soul rings. The soul hunting forest is controlled by the 6 major forces on the Douluo Continent, 3 in the Xiandao Empire and 3 in the Xingluo Empire. As long as you hold the tokens of the 6 major forces, you can enter it to hunt soul beasts and obtain soul rings. Tianyu, Tang San, and the master came to the entrance, and a gatekeeper in armor came up and said indifferently, please show the token. The master took out a golden token and handed it to the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper took the token and saw the pattern on the token. Suddenly, a big shock flashed in his eyes. The soldier then respectfully returned the token to the master, and then respectfully opened the door to let him pass. Xianyu had good eyesight, and of course he saw the change in the soldier's attitude after seeing the pattern on the token. In fact, he also had a token, but he got it with money, so it was definitely not as advanced as the master's. But it didn't matter, they had to enter the forest anyway. Tang San also noticed the change in the soldier's attitude, and thought to himself, is that token powerful? Why did the soldier's attitude change so much after seeing the token? Does the master have some incredible hidden identity? Passing through the tall city wall and entering the outer edge of the forest, all the noise seemed to disappear, and the air became quiet. After entering the forest, the master did not rush forward, but silently observed the surroundings. Suddenly, the master's eyes, which were originally a little tired, suddenly became bright, and his hands clasped in front of his chest, and then quickly separated below. Come out, Luo Sanpao. With a puff, a light purple soul power separated from the master's palms, and a soul power fluctuation came from the master's body. In front of him, a creature that looked like a pig and a dog had appeared. That's right, that was the master's martial spirit, Luo Sanpao. It looked like a dog, but its size was more like a pig. The whole body was covered with lavender hair, 2 small ears drooped, and a pair of big dark blue eyes blinked. The fat body twisted a bit. It was hard to imagine how slow its movements were with its 4 short and thick legs. There was a bump on the top of its head, which should be the dragon horn after the evolution failed. As soon as it appeared, it ran towards the master and rubbed its big head on the master's legs. Xianyu looked at it speechlessly. This purple pig really has dragon blood? Or it is a noble among the dragons, the blood of the golden holy dragon? It doesn't look like it at all. Only the silly boy Tang San looked at it with surprise. After all, it was right. In the impression of ordinary people, beast martial spirits appear in the form of possession. For a martial spirit like this, a living martial spirit that appears in front of you and has self-awareness is indeed quite novel for a martial spirit novice like Tang San. Dear readers, if you think the book is good, please give it some support, such as giving it a triple comment or something. Whether this book can survive depends on you. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8: Awakening the Golden Holy Dragon Martial Spirit. Xianyu, Tang San and Master walked around the periphery for a while and felt bored. They said goodbye to Tang San and Master and prepared to go deeper into the forest, because the soul beasts on the periphery were all weak soul beasts that could be killed with one punch. It was really boring. Master wanted to stop Xianyu. After all, no matter how talented Xianyu was, he couldn't hunt soul beasts alone in the depths of the soul beast forest, because his soul power level was too low and he hadn't grown up yet. There were many soul beasts of 10,000 years in the depths of the forest. The main reason was that Xianyu was a friend of his apprentice Tang San, and he couldn't just watch Xianyu go to danger. But he soon shut up, because Xianyu snapped his fingers, and a slender, blue-haired demon general with 2 double swords in his hands and a cold look in his eyes and a mask appeared beside Xianyu. The moment the demon general appeared, the master's pupils shrank sharply. Soul Saint? No, to be precise, a very powerful soul saint. After all, he was once the young master of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex sect, and his father was a level 95 super Douluo. The masters in the sect were also one of the best in the Douluo Continent. He had seen all kinds of powerful soul masters since he was a child. But the soul power of the man in front of him was very mysterious. At least even a well-informed person like him had never seen such a special soul power. The main reason was that the age of the level 79 soul saint in front of him looked too young. Although he was masked and could not see below his eyes. But from the look in his eyes, it can be seen that this person is definitely very young, only in his early 20s, a soul saint in his 20s. No, it should be the level of quasi-soul Douluo. Which sect can have a genius of this level? But the fact is that there is one, right in front of him, but such a genius who would be cultivated by all resources in any sect is just a bodyguard under Xianyu. Alice, if he had this talent back then, he would not have been expelled from the sect. Sad, in this world where the strong prey on the weak and the strong are respected, without talent and strength, it means that you can only be unknown. Now he can be 100% sure that there is definitely a super terrifying and mysterious existence behind Xianyu. Now he only hopes that Xianyu is not contacting Tang San with any purpose, because he has placed all his hopes on Tang San. Xianyu walked leisurely in the interior of the soul-hunting forest, and the demon general land beside him released his breath and isolated those low-year soul beasts. By the way, didn't I just copy the golden holy dragon martial soul from the master? Let's fuse the martial soul first. After Xianyu finished speaking, he took land back and returned to the spirit ring to fuse the martial soul. What Xianyu didn't know was that a few seconds after he returned to the spirit ring, a strong and holy soul power rose to the sky from the deeper part of the soul-hunting forest. If Xianyu saw it, he would definitely be very familiar, because this was actually the soul power fluctuation of the god-level martial soul. Xianyu, who returned to the spirit ring, immediately summoned the system. System, let me make the golden holy dragon martial soul undergo a super divine evolution. Ling. The golden holy dragon martial soul is undergoing a super divine evolution. Ling. The golden holy dragon martial soul has completed a super divine evolution. Ling. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the martial soul chaos ultimate golden holy dragon emperor. Does the host choose to fuse it? Fusion. Ling. The martial soul is undergoing fusion. Boom. Another powerful soul force erupted from Xianyu's body, but this awakening was different from the last time the Dark Holy Dragon awakened. If the last awakening of the Dark Holy Dragon was a spiritual enhancement, then this time the awakening of the Golden Holy Dragon was a complete physical enhancement. The Golden Holy energy gradually condensed on Xianyu's back, and finally condensed into a Chaos Ultimate Golden Holy Dragon Emperor circling. Xianyu was very surprised, because the super divine evolution of the Golden Holy Dragon actually strengthened the physical body so much. At this time, Xianyu was possessed by the Dragon Emperor, and his whole body was covered with the golden streamers, and even his pupils turned golden. Xianyu's mind moved, and a golden soul power gathered in his fists. Xianyu only felt that the place wrapped by the golden air became very hard, and it felt like it could shatter the space. Xianyu came to a stone forest in the spirit ring. The ground here was almost full of various boulders, and these stones were different from the stones in the outside world. They were harder than the stones in the outside world. Xianyu came to a boulder. The surface of the boulder flowed with a metallic luster. It was not simple at first glance. Xianyu punched the boulder without saying a word. Xianyu's punch did not bless the golden streamer on his fists. Boom. Xianyu's punch was enough to hammer a Soul King to death, but it only cracked a crack on this boulder. Xianyu didn't expect that this stone was quite hard, but he tried this. Xianyu's mind moved, and golden streamers appeared in Xianyu's fists. Gather the energy, drink. A full-strength ordinary punch. Boom. The stone exploded directly, and dozens of meters were hammered and exploded. Fragments flew everywhere, like a rain of stones. Not enough. System, fuse the soul rings of the Golden Holy Dragon Emperor Martial Soul. Ding. The soul rings of the Chaos Ultimate Golden Holy Dragon Emperor Martial Soul are being fused. Ding. The soul ring fusion of the Golden Holy Dragon Emperor Martial Soul is complete. Ding. Congratulations to the host Martial Soul Golden Holy Dragon Emperor for obtaining the first soul ring. Year, 10,000 years. Soul skill, Golden Dragon Emperor World Destruction Fisting. Congratulations to the host Martial Soul Golden Holy Dragon Emperor for obtaining the first soul ring. Year, 10,000 years. Soul skill, Golden Dragon Emperor Demon God Transformation Golden Dragon Emperor World Destruction Fist. There are no fancy special effects. It is simply to break all forces with force. Golden Dragon Emperor Demon God Transformation. After using soul skills, physical fitness and strength will be temporarily improved by a level. This time Xianyu changed another kind of stone. This kind of stone is harder than the previous one. Xianyu did not use soul skills at first, but only used golden streamers attached to his fists, but after a punch, there was only a little dent on the surface of the stone. It seems that this stone is much harder than the previous one. Xianyu didn't say anything more, and started with his second soul skill, Golden Dragon Emperor Demon God Transformation. A black soul ring lit up from Xianyu's body, and Xianyu felt that his strength was more than 10 times stronger. As expected, if you want to deal high damage, you have to use soul skills. Tianyu aimed at the boulder and hit it with a Golden Dragon Emperor World Destruction Fist. This blow directly smashed the boulder to pieces. This blow was at least the power of the peak of the Soul Emperor. You have to know that his current realm is only the 21st level of Soul Lord. Tianyu also summoned the Chaos Dark Ultimate Holy Demon Dragon. 2 super god level top dragon martial spirits hovered behind Tianyu. At this time, Tianyu was like a god descending from heaven. After Tianyu merged the martial spirit, he took out the spirit ring and planned to continue to move forward into the depths of the forest. But before Tianyu took a few steps, he sensed a breath of a soul beast coming towards him. It seemed to be a soul beast with good strength. Chapter 9, Saint. With a loud rumble, a huge white figure appeared not far from Tianyu. When Tianyu saw it clearly, he found that it was a tiger-type soul beast, all white, with a pair of huge golden wings on its back. It was about 10 meters long and probably just over 10,000 years old. One of the tiger's long fangs had been broken, and its holy white hair had been dyed red by blood. It seemed that one of its holy golden wings was also broken. The originally majestic king of the forest was now fleeing in such a mess. What kind of person would make such a beast flee like crazy? System, check the information of this soul beast. Ling. Soul beast, bright golden winged tiger, a top rare light type soul beast, year 10,001, the king of tiger type soul beasts, was originally the beast king in the hunting soul forest that had just broken through 10,000 years, and is currently in a state of serious injury. Golden winged tiger of light? It's a rare soul beast. Just when Tianyu was checking the information in the system, the golden winged tiger had already pounced in front of Tianyu. Just when the huge tiger claws were about to hit Tianyu moved. He teleported to the top of the golden winged tiger and hit the head of the golden winged tiger with a chaos heavenly demon fist. The huge body of the golden winged tiger instantly lost its support and fell to the ground. A black soul ring slowly floated out of the corpse. The soul ring was directly saved into the system by Tianyu. Yes, the system also has the function of saving soul rings. There seems to be something in the corpse. When Tianyu approached, a soul bone slowly floated out of the corpse, and Tianyu directly put it into the system. Although this soul bone is of no use to him, if it is put in the outside world, it will definitely cause another bloody storm to snatch the soul bone. It took less than a minute for Tianyu to meet the golden winged tiger, kill it, and collect the soul ring and soul bone. The people who hunted the golden winged tiger before should have come here following the smell. In an instant, a holy light descended from the forest, and a tall and slender figure appeared not far from Tianyu. When Tianyu saw it clearly, he found that the person was actually a beautiful woman. Tianyu was distracted for a moment when he saw the woman for the first time, but he came back to his senses in an instant. Because this girl was so beautiful, it can be said that she was the most beautiful girl Tianyu had seen since he came to this world. There was a small six-winged angel mark between her eyebrows, and her golden eyes were as calm as water. She was wearing a golden palace dress. The long dress was one piece and seemed to be woven with gold silk. There were no excessive patterns and decorations. The style was simple and elegant. The golden stand-up collar protected her snow-white and slender neck. Her long golden hair was casually scattered behind her, and she was not carefully combed. It formed a sharp contrast with her neat palace dress. After Tianyu saw the girl's appearance clearly, he already knew the girl's identity. With such appearance, who else could it be except Jinring Su, the saint of the spirit hall in the original book? The blonde girl also saw Tianyu, but soon turned her eyes away and looked at the dead golden tiger of light lying on the ground. After seeing that the golden tiger of light was dead and the soul ring had disappeared, a trace of anger flashed in the blonde girl's eyes, but the elegant girl did not lose her composure because of anger. Instead, she summoned a golden longsword and pointed a golden sword light at Tianyu. There was no way. The soul beast was dead, and the soul ring disappeared after missing the best absorption time. Now the only way to vent her anger is to kill the man in front of her who killed her soul beast. Even if she knew that the man was not weak, seeing that he could be alone in the depths of the soul hunting forest, it can be said that he is probably a genius of a certain force. But so what? No matter how strong the talent and strength are, can they be stronger than her? No matter how powerful the power is, can it be as powerful as the spirit hall? She is the saint of the spirit hall, the future pope, with a very high status. What if she kills a mortal who offends her? But what shocked her was that the scene of Tianyu being killed by her sword did not happen. The man just smiled and then summoned a black dragon-shaped longsword. With a light stroke, he offset her attack. Feeling the breath of the longsword, the blonde girl was shocked. Divine weapon? Why would a mortal have a divine weapon? You should know that her divine weapon was left by an ancestor of her family who had become a god. It can be said that there are only a few divine weapons in the entire Douluo Continent. The blonde girl said, "Which force are you from? Why do you have a divine weapon?" "I don't belong to any force. I only belong to myself." "Then the divine weapon you mentioned refers to the broken sword in your hand." Hearing Tianyu say that her sword was a broken sword, the girl could no longer remain calm, because the man in front of her was too arrogant. He was also a divine weapon owner, but he actually looked down on his own divine weapon. The girl snorted coldly, "Arrogant guy, do you know who I am? I am the saint of the spirit hall, Jin Ringsu." Jin Ringsu thought to herself, HMPH, after hearing the name of this saint, he should be thinking about how to ask for my forgiveness. But to her surprise, Tianyu was still calm after hearing her name and the fact that the power behind her was the spirit hall. Tianyu said calmly, "Is the spirit hall very powerful?" This. Jin Ringsu was a little dumbfounded. There was actually someone who could be so calm after hearing the name of the spirit hall. HMPH, it seems that to deal with an arrogant and ignorant person like you, the only way is to use strength to make you face reality. Tianyu was speechless. How could he become an arrogant and ignorant person? Ordinary artifacts are indeed shabby in his eyes now, and the spirit hall is indeed not powerful to him now. I clearly said the truth, so why did I become arrogant and ignorant? Seeing that she seemed to really want to fight with him, Tianyu also said helplessly, "Okay, I'll play with you." Jin Ringsu was so angry when she saw his nonchalant look. "What do you mean by playing with me? I'm serious with you." Jin Ringsu stabbed out with a sword, but was caught by Tianyu's casual sword. Then Jin Ringsu used a few more sword techniques, but they were still easily resolved by Tianyu one by one. After hundreds of moves, Jin Ringsu was already sweating profusely. Because neither side used soul power, the battle was a pure physical fitness and understanding of the sword. In the battle of hundreds of moves just now, Jin Ringsu was almost the only one attacking, while Tianyu was leisurely cracking his sword technique. Jin Ringsu finally understood that although she was proud and didn't want to admit it, Tianyu's understanding of the sword was indeed better than hers. Thinking back to her embarrassed appearance just now, and Tianyu looking at her from a distance with a playful face, Jin Ringsu's little face was flushed with anger. Said, "Are you kidding me? The artifact that appears in this chapter is a new setting added by the author himself. This setting has no effect on the plot. You can understand the artifact as a more powerful Horcrux, which can ensure that there will not be a plot on the later stage where everyone has one. Only a few important characters will have it. If you simply focus on the content of the original work without any innovation, is it really good? I guess everyone will not like it. After all, if you write fan fiction but don't know how to add some innovation, then what's the point of writing fan fiction? Just read the original work. The author has no other intentions here, just explain it clearly to the readers in advance to avoid being scolded by readers when adding new settings later. The most feared thing when writing novels is being scolded. Finally, the author asks for 3 likes from everyone here. Thank you very much. Chapter 10 Holy White. Miss Jin, don't say anything careless. How can I play with you? After all, how can I play with you wearing clothes? Before Tianyu finished speaking, a sword light filled with holy soul power shot towards him. Tianyu calmly summoned the ancient magic dragon armor to resist the attack of the light blade. Jin Ringsu in the distance had already summoned the martial soul 6-winged angel. An angel with 6 wings appeared behind Jin Ringsu. At this time, Jin Ringsu became more holy and beautiful under the background of the 6-winged angel. You actually have a second artifact, but so what? Under the power of the god-level martial soul, the artifact is just an external force, unless you also have a god-level martial soul. God-level martial soul? I really don't like that level of martial soul. After saying that, Tianyu released the martial soul Chaos Dark Ultimate Holy Demon Dragon. The terrifying chaotic dark soul power instantly defeated Jin Ringsu's light soul power. God-level martial soul. No, this level of soul power fluctuation is much stronger than her god-level martial soul. Is it possible? How is it possible? How can there be a martial soul stronger than a god-level martial soul in this world? Wait, you only have level 20 soul power. Yes, she sensed Tianyu's soul power level. What else? I just awakened my martial soul not long ago. Humph, don't say that this saint is bullying you. This saint is now a level 50 soul king. I don't even need to use my full strength to beat you, a soul master who just awakened his martial soul. In fact, she just wanted to say that she would not use soul power, but she thought that if she didn't use soul power, she would be the one to be abused. No, use all your strength, or you will say I am bullying you. Jinriksu was really about to faint from anger at Tianyu. What was going on? He was still so arrogant. Your soul power was only level 20. No matter how high the quality of your martial soul was, it was at most the same level as hers, because she had never heard of a martial soul that was higher than the quality of a god-level martial soul. If the martial soul quality was the same, they would lose if the soul power level was one level different. This was a soul power difference of 30 levels. How could he fight? How could he be so calm in a battle without suspense? Ignorance? Or blind self-confidence? No matter what, he had to knock him down first. First soul skill, Angel Wing Light Slash. A purple soul ring floated up from Jinriksu's body, and a ray of light condensed on the Angel Holy Sword. With a swing of the sword, the Holy Sword light shot straight towards Tianyu. The corners of Tianyu's mouth rose slightly, and a black soul ring rose from his feet. He shouted, Dragon Annihilation Fist. The moment the bright sword light came into contact with the terrifying annihilation energy, it was instantly torn apart by the terrifying dark energy, and turned into particles of light that dissipated. A black 10,000-year soul ring. How could it be? The age of the first soul ring of a god-level martial soul is already the limit of 1,000 years. Why would his first soul ring be 10,000 years old? This is too fake, right? Paint was sprayed on the soul ring? Jinriksu asked, is your martial soul a god-level martial soul? I said, I really don't like god-level martial souls. As for the quality of my martial soul, it's above the god level. Above the god level. Jinriksu murmured. Grandpa once said that there were indeed martial souls above the god level in the world, but that was 1,000,000 years ago and had long become a legend. Tianyu said, in fact, I still have martial souls of this level. Tianyu didn't intend to hide it. A golden holy light gathered behind Tianyu. It was a golden holy dragon king with 2 pairs of golden dragon horns on its head, a huge body, 2 pairs of golden dragon wings on its back, and every dragon scale on its body emitting golden holy light. Twin martial souls. They are the same twin martial souls as my mother. Jinriksu used to think that her god-level 6-winged angel martial soul was already one of the most powerful martial souls on the continent, but after seeing Tianyu's twin super god-level martial souls, she no longer had this idea. Compared with his 2 dragons, her 6-winged angel was really not good enough, but she was not convinced. She could no longer compare in momentum, so she could only defeat him in strength. Jinriksu still felt that he had a chance to beat Tianyu. 5th soul skill, Angel Judgment. This is my strongest attack. Let's see if you can take it. A black soul ring rose from Jinriksu's feet. At this moment, Jinriksu's momentum soared, and it seemed that she really used all her strength. Jinriksu floated in the sky, condensing the strongest attack, and Tianyu could see it clearly from below. Tianyu wiped the blood from his nose and said, well, it is indeed holy white. Affirmation from Tianyu. Jinriksu quickly condensed the strongest attack, the space was torn, and a golden giant sword stretched out from the space and slashed down towards Tianyu. This was the judgment from the angel. When the giant sword appeared, Tianyu's heartless look instantly became serious. Because this is not the strongest attack of an ordinary soul king, this is the strongest attack released by a god-level martial soul, and the power of this attack has reached the level of soul saint. 2 halos, 1 dark and 1 golden, began to spread from Tianyu's body. Yes, it is a domain. How can a super god-level martial soul not have some special magical powers? The domain is the skill that every super god-level martial soul comes with. Dark domain, soul power attack in the domain increases by 1000%, 10 times, and weakens the enemy's soul power by 500%, 5 times. Golden domain, soul power in the domain increases by 500%, 5 times, physical strength increases by 1000%, 10 times, weakens enemy physical strength by 500%, 5 times. Innate holy power, holy dragons roar. The two dragons roar towards the sky. Dark holy demon dragons innate holy power, dragon roar, increase soul attack by 500%, 5 times, reduce the opponent's soul attack by 500%, 5 times. Golden holy dragon emperor's innate holy power, dragon roar, increase physical strength by 500%, 5 times, reduce the opponent's physical strength by 500%, 5 times. Although not all of his strength was shown, this was enough. Golden Dragon Emperor Demon God Transformation. His physical fitness sword. Pitch black sword. A pitch black long sword appeared in Xianyu's hand. This was the innate holy power of the holy demon dragon. The pitch black sword could tear apart everything in the world. Xianyu jumped up, and the two swords collided with each other. The two swords only confronted each other for less than a second, and the sacred giant sword was smashed into pieces by the pitch black sword. At this time, Jin Ringsu's soul power had been exhausted and she collapsed on the ground, while Xianyu was still full of energy, not showing any signs of lack of soul power. Xianyu came in front of Jin Ringsu and lifted up her attractive chin. Jin Ringsu seemed to have thought of what Xianyu was going to do, and her blushing face shouted no, but her soul power had been exhausted and she had no strength left. She could not move and could only let Xianyu cast a spell. Just as Xianyu was about to pry open Jin Ringsu's attractive red lips with his mouth, a soul power wave came from the forest. I'm really sorry for not updating for so long, and I will resume normal updates tomorrow. Book friends who have tickets, please support. Chapter 11 Kiss Jin Ringsu gently. A soul skill filled with violent soul power shot directly at Xianyu. Just when the soul skill was about to hit Xianyu, Xianyu calmly summoned the demon General Lan, and Lan dispersed the opponent's attack with one blow. The person who came was a middle-aged man of level 79 Soul Saint, the same level as the demon General Lan, wearing a robe with a logo of the Spirit Hall. Let go of the saint. The middle-aged man shouted as soon as he arrived. Before Xianyu gave the order, Lan had already raised his double swords to chop him, saying, "Don't be rude to the master." The middle-aged man felt the power of Lan and directly activated a big move just in case. He had sent a message to Elder Yuguan. Now all he had to do was to hold on until Elder Yuguan arrived. Martial Soul, Earth-Splitting Vajra, 7th Soul Skill, Vajra True Body. The middle-aged man directly transformed into a huge giant ape. But Lan just said lightly, the 5th Soul Skill, Demon Shark Piercing Kill. A black soul ring rose up, and Lan directly transformed into Blue Magic Shark, with two swords raised, like a pair of giant teeth of the magic shark, instantly piercing the middle-aged man in the state of Wuhan's Henwei, and the middle-aged man instantly lost his ability to fight. Jin Ringsu in Xianyu's arms was dumbfounded, because that was a strong man close to the level of Soul Douluo, but he was killed instantly by a soul master of the same level. Xianyu lowered his head, looked into Jin Ringsu's beautiful eyes and said, "My little brother is powerful, isn't he?" Jin Ringsu's cheeks flushed, but she still said arrogantly, "Humph, so what? The elders of the Wuhan Hall are on their way. I advise you to leave now, otherwise your little brother will not be the opponent of the title Douluo no matter how strong he is." Xianyu put his hand on Jin Ringsu's white cheek and smiled playfully, "Are you worried about me?" Jin Ringsu blushed and said, "Asshole, who is worried about you?" Looking at Jin Ringsu's seductive appearance, Xianyu lowered his head and kissed her. Xianyu quickly let go of her mouth and didn't do it too much. Jin Ringsu had tears in her eyes, but her pride as a saint prevented her from crying. That was his first kiss, and he even stuck out his tongue. In less than a moment, a very powerful soul power fluctuation came from a distance, and soon appeared not far from Xianyu. The visitor was Zhu Douluo, one of the elders of the Spirit Hall in the original work. This time, he was responsible for protecting the saint and hunting soul beasts. Unexpectedly, an accident happened. The saint was kidnapped. He had used soul power to detect the forest before. There were no powerful soul beasts and soul masters, but an accident still happened. After seeing Jin Ringsu in Xianyu's arms, he was completely desperate, because the saint was lying in the arms of a strange man. Her clothes were messy, her face was ruddy, and there were tears in her eyes. She was obviously abused. It was over. He would definitely be finished after returning to Wuhan. "Boy, I want you to die." After saying that, he activated the Wuhan True Body, and the pressure of the Super Douluo burst out directly. Jin Ringsu said anxiously, "You should leave quickly, Your little brother can't resist Elder Yuguan. Xianyu patted Jinringsu on the back and said, "Don't worry, I'm here, and who said I only have one little brother?" Looking at Xianyu's confident and handsome profile, Jinringsu's cheeks turned red again. I don't know why she felt so safe in the arms of this bad guy. Wait, it seems that something is wrong. Even if Lan is strong, it is indeed a bit too much for him to fight against a Super Douluo level opponent. After a few moves, Lan was injured in many places, but he did not retreat at all, because behind him was his master. If his master did not let him retreat, he would not retreat, even if he died in battle. Lan, come back. Xianyu said, and then summoned another 89-level Soul Douluo level demon General to fight. Ye held a magic shield in his left hand and a big magic sword in his right hand. Ye went up and slashed with a sword. Zhu Douluo hurriedly resisted, and although he blocked it, Lan ran away directly with a water shadow escape. Zhu Douluo did not have time to care about the escape Lan, because the guy in front of him was more difficult. Although his soul power was only level 89, his strength was not weaker than that of an ordinary title Douluo. As soon as Lan returned to Xianyu's side, he immediately knelt on one knee and said, "My lord, I'm sorry, it's my incompetence." Xianyu patted Lan on the shoulder and said, "You have done very well. In the future, if you meet an opponent you can't beat, just run away. Don't force yourself." After that, he asked Lan to return to the Magic Army Ring. The Magic Army Ring is a space spirit ring for the magic generals to live in. It can not only be used for living, but also for improving the cultivation of the magic generals when they are free, and for healing the magic generals when they are injured. Zhu Douluo and the magic general Yu are still fighting at this time. They have already fought hundreds of moves at this time. It can be said that both sides are fighting desperately, but the magic generals still lose in level after all. If both sides are at the same level, the magic generals will definitely beat Zhu Douluo to death. Seeing that the magic general is about to give up, Xianyu called him back. Seeing your return to Xianyu, Zhu Douluo said jokingly, "What's wrong? Are you scared? Release the saint girl now, and then come back to the spirit hall with me to be judged. Maybe the spirit hall will let the forces behind you go." Xianyu almost laughed out loud when he heard Zhu Douluo's words, and then said playfully, "Who said I was scared? I just saw that my little brother was tired of fighting, and wanted to change a little brother to fight you." After Xianyu finished speaking, he summoned a level 92 title Douluo demon General Yu. When Zhu Douluo saw Yu appear, he was desperate, because he could feel the strength of the level 92 title Douluo in front of him, who is a title Douluo more powerful than him in his prime, not to mention that he had already been consumed by the level 89 soul Douluo and had little soul power left. It can be said that he had no chance of winning in a fight, and that man didn't know how many title Douluos like him there were. At this moment, he was really desperate, and he couldn't hold back his tears anymore. "That's right," he cried. A super Douluo who was admired by thousands of people actually cried here today because he was so aggrieved. He already understood that Xianyu was just playing a trick on him. Xianyu pretended to say, "Hey, Lord Zhu Douluo, why are you crying? Don't you have enough younger brothers? Don't worry, I still have more." Xianyu said and summoned two level 93 title Douluo level demon generals. Zhu Douluo cried even louder when he saw Xianyu summon two more title Douluos. Xianyu said, "Why are you still crying? Isn't that enough?" Xianyu said and summoned two level 94 title Douluo demon generals. Xianyu saw that Zhu Douluo was still crying, so he said, "In this case, I can only summon out my most powerful younger brothers." The humble author is online asking for collections, votes, and 5-star book reviews. These are really important to me. Whether the author can continue to update in the future really depends on these. Thank you very much. Chapter 12 The Promise with Jinringsu. Xianyu snapped his fingers, and 3 figures fell from the sky. Don't ask why they fell from the sky, because it's more handsome this way. The aura exuded by each figure was extremely powerful, which was not comparable to the title Douluo level demon generals below level 95. The 95th level of Soul Master is just a threshold. Once you step into it, your strength will be qualitatively improved, not to mention the more powerful demon generals. This time, Zhu Douluo really didn't cry, because he was shocked by the soul power of the 3 super Douluo demon generals, and he couldn't cry even if he wanted to. Zhu Douluo was madly shocked in his heart. Why? Why are the super Douluos under him so terrifying? Especially the strong man holding the giant axe. His strength is estimated to have surpassed the great elder of their Wuhan Hall, and even if the two next to him have not surpassed, their strength is not much different. Where did he get so many peerless masters from? Why have I never seen or heard of them before on the Douluo Continent? Or how powerful is the power behind him? Even such a master is only worthy of being his younger brother. Question mark. Could it be God? God? He knew that he had no chance to ask. He just wanted Tianyu to give him a quick death and stop playing with him. He begged Tianyu, give me a quick death. Tianyu said speechlessly, give you a quick death? Zhu Douluo said, yes, just kill me quickly. Tianyu said speechlessly, why should I kill you? Zhu Douluo, you won't kill me. Tianyu said, did I say I would kill you? Zhu Douluo thought about it and realized that Tianyu did not seem to have said that he would kill him from the beginning to the end. But he asked again, are you really not going to kill me? Are you annoying? I said I won't kill you, so are you questioning my words? Tianyu gave him a death stare. Zhu Douluo shook his head like a rattle. Tianyu snapped his fingers, and all the demon generals faced Tianyu and knelt on one knee, shouting, meet the Lord. Tianyu pulled Jinrixu, who had been stunned, into his arms and said, see? These are my little brothers. I have many little brothers like you. Do you think I am qualified to marry you now? When Jinrixu heard Tianyu say that he wanted to marry her, her face turned red like an apple. She thought to herself, so direct? But they just met today. She admitted that she was moved and was fascinated by Tianyu's domineering, powerful and mysterious aura. Although she thought about killing him at the beginning, it was a bit ridiculous to think about it now. Is this love-hate relationship? She used to claim that there was no man in the world who was worthy of her, but now she changed her mind, because the man in front of her was the man destined for her. Jinrixu lay in Tianyu's arms and nodded shyly, saying, when will you come to the spirit hall to marry me? When I grow up. Tianyu walked alone on the way out of the forest. After making a promise with Jinrixu, he left because he knew it was not the right time yet, although Jinrixu was reluctant to leave him and lingered with him for a long time. Of course, Tianyu also gave her some small gifts, that is, a bunch of natural treasures in the spirit ring and the spirit ring transformed by the system, as well as the spirit bone that was exposed when fighting monsters. All of them were transformed by the system, which directly improved the quality by a large margin. The spirit ring and spirit bone were also evolved into growth-type spirit rings and growth-type spirit bones. There are no side effects when absorbing them, just like when Tianyu's spirit merged with his spirit ring. System, check today's harvest. Ling. Today the host received a gift pack, Martial Soul, 6-Winged Angel X1, can be evolved into a Super God, Pretend Gift Pack X1, Luck Gift Pack X1, Female Luck Gift Pack X1. Today is really a great harvest, let's go back and slowly open it. Tianyu arrived at the outskirts of the soul hunting forest not long after walking, and as soon as he came out, he saw Tang San who had just absorbed the first soul ring. Tianyu came to Tang San's side, patted him on the shoulder and said, Xiao-san, how is your harvest? Not bad, what is your harvest today, Xiao-san? Tang San said expectantly. Tianyu touched his nose and said, it's a big harvest. Oh. Tang San didn't ask much, but felt that with Tianyu's strength, he must have harvested something good. Tianyu, Tang San, and Master quickly returned to Nodin College. After returning to Nodin College, Tianyu quickly separated from Tang San and Master, and then went to Xiao Wu for dinner to cultivate their relationship. Time passed quickly, and soon it was the night that Tianyu was most looking forward to. Late at night, Xiao Wu rolled into Tianyu's arms unconsciously while sleeping, and Tianyu's consciousness was already in the spirit ring. System opens the gift package. The gift package has been opened. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 20 magic general summoning cards. Do you choose to summon? System, use all the summoning cards. Ling. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 level 99 peak Douluo magic general, 2 level 98 super Douluo magic generals, 3 level 97 super Douluo magic generals, 4 level 96 super Douluo magic generals, 5 level 95 super Douluo magic generals, and 5 level 90 title Douluo magic generals. In an instant, 20 extremely powerful magic generals all appeared and knelt on one knee in front of Tianyu, shouting, "See you, my lord." Xianyu waved his hand to let them stand up, and then asked them to go back to the magic army ring. This is his power, the power to rule the Douluo universe in the future. System, continue to open the luck gift package. Ling. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Martial Soul Light Holy Dragon, can be super evolved. Wow, I got another awesome dragon Martial Soul. If I fuse the Light Holy Dragon to super evolution, I will have 3 Holy Dragon Martial Souls. Xianyu's consciousness returned to the main body of the 7th house, and when he opened his eyes, he saw Xiao Wu lying in his arms. Looking at Xiao Wu's cute sleeping face, Xianyu said lovingly, "Xiao Wu, let me protect you in the future." The next day, in the Space Spirit Ring. System, fuse the Light Holy Dragon Martial Soul to super evolution. Ling. The Martial Soul Light Holy Dragon is in the process of super evolution. Ling. The Martial Soul Light Holy Dragon has completed super evolution. Ling. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Martial Soul Supreme Light Ultimate Holy Dragon Emperor. Does the host choose to fuse the Martial Soul? Fusion. With a bang. An extremely shining Supreme Holy Light rushed into the sky, covering the sky and the entire spirit world with a layer of golden Supreme Holy Light. Xianyu was bathed in the Supreme Holy Light, which continued to extend outward until it filled the entire space of the spirit ring. Finally, all the Supreme Holy Light began to return to Xianyu's body, until a noble Supreme Holy Dragon condensed behind Xianyu. There was a pair of golden Supreme Dragon horns on the top of the Supreme Light Holy Dragon's head. Every golden dragon scale on the dragon's body shone with the Supreme Holy Light. The 2 pairs of dragon wings shining with golden holy light appeared even more holy and noble under the sunlight of the spirit world. I have to say that the Light Holy Dragon and the Gold Holy Dragon look really alike, even after the Super God evolution. No, it can be said that the Light Holy Dragon, the Gold Holy Dragon, and the Dark Holy Dragon are all born from the same mother. The humble author is online asking for collections, votes, and 5-star book reviews. These are really important to me. Whether the author can continue to update in the future really depends on these. Thank you very much. Is anyone else reading? Chapter 13. 5 years later. Time passed, and 5 years passed. In these years, Xianyu's soul power increased by 20 levels, from the original 21st level Great Soul Master to the 41st level Soul Sect. This is the realm he reached without practicing seriously. If he wanted, he would have broken through to the Soul King long ago. In these 5 years, he couldn't have stayed not in college all the time. In these 5 years, he went to many places on Douluo Continent and met many characters in anime. But these are not his biggest gains in the past 5 years. In these 5 years, the biggest gain is that Xiao Wu fell in love with him. After 5 years of unremitting efforts, he successfully completed the strategy of Xiao Wu. On the streets of a city, a pair of fairy lovers with fairy-like appearance walked on the street. The man had a handsome face, sword eyebrows, starry eyes, a tall figure, and an extraordinary temperament. Yes, this is Xianyu 5 years later. The woman has a childish pink face, a pair of particularly slender and tight legs, a small waist that is very elastic and a scorpion braid that hangs down to the ground. Isn't it Xiao Wu? Her skin has become more delicate, and some parts of her body that belong to girls have also begun to develop. The most attractive thing is still her long legs, which are round and straight, without any flaws. Xiao Wu took Tianyu's hand, and the two walked leisurely on the street. The eyes of passers-by on the street were all attracted by the two. The girls on the street looked at Tianyu with peach blossoms in their eyes. Tianyu himself didn't want to be like this, but he was too handsome, so handsome that it was infuriating. Tianyu and Xiao Wu had left not in college for several years, and went to various famous cities on Douluo Continent for an enviable sweet tour. The city they are in now is not far from the city where Shrek is. In the past few years, he and Xiao Wu have played enough, and it's time to do some serious work, such as going to Shrek to capture the two heroines. In almost every city they passed through during the trip, the first thing they did when they arrived in a new city was to take Xiao Wu shopping, then to buy, and then to eat. They really didn't have to do anything, and it was enough to just eat, drink and have fun. In a luxurious restaurant, Xianyu and Xiao Wu were happily tasting food. Xianyu put a dish that Xiao Wu liked to Xiao Wu's mouth, and Xiao Wu ate the food that Xianyu sent to her mouth in one bite, and she was so happy that her beautiful eyes curved into a crescent shape. Then Xiao Wu also used her slender jade fingers to feed a dish that Tianyu liked to Tianyu's mouth, and Tianyu ate it decisively. I don't know whether Tianyu intended it or not, but he accidentally licked Xiao Wu's fingers when he ate the food just now. This sweet scene of the two handsome men and beautiful women made other people in the restaurant envious and jealous. The women envied why they didn't have such handsome boyfriends, and the men envied why they didn't have beautiful girlfriends. Author, you are thinking about pea eating. At this moment, a discordant voice suddenly broke this wonderful meal. At this time, a young man with a big belly and a middle-aged man came to Xiao Wu's side and wanted to touch Xiao Wu with his greasy pig's hand. Xiao Wu was very fast and teleported behind Tianyu in a blink of an eye. Now Tianyu can be said to be very angry, because he and Xiao Wu have been traveling for so long, and he has really encountered this kind of idiot. He just has a little strength and power, and he will have evil thoughts after seeing Xiao Wu's beauty. Tianyu originally thought that this kind of person would only appear in novels, but he didn't expect that there are many such idiots in reality. Seeing Xiao Wu hiding behind Tianyu and not letting him touch her, the greasy young man was angry. He just wanted to say a few nonsense threats, but Tianyu didn't give him a chance. He teleported and hid him directly, smashing his fat body more than 10 meters away, smashing the entire restaurant directly and flying out, smashing it hard on the street, and even the ground was sunken. The middle-aged man next to the useless man just now reacted, because Xianyu's movements were so smooth and fast that even he, the sole emperor, didn't react. When he reacted, his young master had been blown away. He quickly ran out of the restaurant and looked at the young master lying on the road like a dead pig. He felt very disappointed because his young master had been crippled. He could sense that his young master's meridians had been broken like slag, his level 30 soul power had been directly reduced to 0, and his bones were broken. If he could be saved, he would be a cripple. You know, the head of their family only has this one son. If he was crippled like this, if he went back like this, his fate would probably not be much better. Thinking of this, he turned around and killed Xianyu. Xianyu just continued to stand there and comfort Xiao Wu in his arms. The middle-aged man saw that Xianyu actually ignored him so much, and he was even more furious. He directly started with the ultimate killer move, the 6th soul skill. This was already his strongest attack. He believed that this attack was enough to take Xianyu's life. Little did he know that in Xianyu's heart, he was already a dead man. The middle-aged man saw a cloud of black mist suddenly rise in front of him, and a blue-haired young man stood not far from him, blocking Xianyu. The middle-aged man snorted coldly, and sneered in his heart, "There are helpers? But you are so young, how strong can you be? So you still have to die." But soon, he regretted it. Because the young man released his soul power. The soul power of the 89th level Soul Douluo directly crushed the soul power of the 64th level Soul Emperor into powder. The middle-aged man was frightened and interrupted the attack. He stood there stupidly, trembling all over, because this soul power was too terrifying. The terrifying soul power that came to his face was like a bloodthirsty demon shark, tearing his soul power to pieces. The young man moved, and the two magic knives fell, and the middle-aged man was directly separated. Kill in seconds, absolutely crushed by strength, there is no chance of winning. That's right, the young man was the demon General Lan from 5 years ago. In just 5 years, he was promoted from a level 79 Soul Saint to level 89 Soul Douluo. This is the growth rate of demon generals. In 5 years, Xianyu completed many different system tasks. He now has at least 200 demon generals like this. Xianyu looked at the restaurant that was destroyed into ruins by the soul power fluctuations of Lan with a calm face, pointed at the restaurant owner who was hiding behind the counter with only half of his head exposed, and motioned him to come over. Seeing that Xianyu seemed to be letting him pass, the restaurant owner trembled and walked out from behind the broken counter, came to Xianyu and said respectfully, "Sir, I don't know what you want to ask me." After saying that, he secretly glanced at Lan vigilantly, fearing that Lan would chop him down if he disagreed with him. Xianyu casually threw a card to the restaurant owner and said, "This card contains compensation for your restaurant. I don't know how much gold soul coins your restaurant is worth, so I just gave a random number. I hope you don't mind." The restaurant owner quickly shook his head and said, "No, no. How dare he mind this gentleman?" Xianyu waved at Lan and said, "You step down first." Lan nodded, and turned into a black shadow and disappeared. Seeing that Lan disappeared, The restaurant owner and the guests in the restaurant were relieved, mainly because the sense of oppression given by land was too strong, and the sense of oppression was not inferior to those titled Douluo-level powerhouses. The highest level among them is only level 50, where have they seen a powerhouse of this level? After Tianyu and Xiao Wu left, the restaurant owner dared to use soul power to check the balance in the card. After a while, the restaurant owner screamed directly, "Damn! So many gold soul coins." The humble author is online asking for collections, votes, and 5-star book reviews. These are really important to me. Whether the author can continue to update in the future really depends on these. Thank you very much. Chapter 14 Rose Hotel. In the spirit world, Tianyu and Xiao were lying in a beautiful sea of flowers. They were leisurely appreciating the bright and mysterious starry sky in the spirit world at night. Xiao just leaned quietly in Tianyu's arms, and quietly enjoyed this wonderful time with Tianyu. At this time, Tianyu said, "Xiao, why don't we find a school to go to?" Xiao said lazily in Tianyu's arms, "Study? Brother, if you don't say it, I almost forgot that we were still students." "Well, that's why I want to ask your opinion." "Brother, you don't have to ask me. Wherever you go in the future, I will go there." "Okay, then let's go to Shrek Academy." Shrek. Xiao and Tianyu have been out for a few years, and she probably has a general understanding of human power and culture. She still knows some powerful academies in the empire. Although she has never heard of Shrek Academy, since it is the academy mentioned by her brother Tianyu, it must be a powerful academy, because she always believes in her brother Tianyu. That's right, Shrek, a special academy. Brother, can you hold me to sleep tonight? We are not children anymore, why do you need someone to hold you to sleep? Tianyu said, touching Xiao's cute bunny ears. I want you to hold me to sleep. Okay, I'll hold you to sleep. Tianyu said, and then opened his arms. Xiao happily lay in Tianyu's arms, and Tianyu also gently held Xiao in his arms. Time passed, and another year passed. Bara Kingdom, Soto City. After another period of travel, Tianyu and Xiao finally arrived at the city where Shrek Academy is located, Soto City. Tianyu and Xiao just arrived in Soto City. It was night, so the two planned to find a hotel to rest first, and then go to Shrek Academy to register tomorrow. Tianyu and Xiao walked on the street for a while, and a hotel called Rose Hotel appeared in their sight. Tianyu and Xiao walked in and came to the counter. Tianyu came to the counter and asked the hotel owner, "Excuse me, are there any rooms here?" The hotel owner was a tall and thin man in a suit with gold-rimmed glasses. When he saw Tianyu for the first time, he immediately saw that Tianyu was extraordinary, because Tianyu's appearance and temperament were too stunning, which was not something that ordinary nobles could have. What's more, there was a girl with the same stunning appearance and temperament beside him. His hotel also receives many rich and powerful bigwigs every day, but they don't have the appearance and temperament of the boy in front of him. It can be said that the appearance and temperament of the two boys and girls in front of him are the most unique and perfect he has ever seen. For these few things, the hotel owner must be sincere and entertain well. After all, people who can become bosses will naturally have some knowledge, unlike some idiots. The hotel owner immediately showed his best attitude and said to Tianyu, "Sir, you are here just in time. There are a lot of guests today. We just have the last rose suite left." Tianyu handed a purple gold card to the hotel owner and said, "Okay, I'll take this room." When the hotel owner saw the purple gold card, he was shocked again. The purple gold card, whose full name is the Supreme Purple Gold Card, is the highest level card in Douluo Bank. Only those with a net worth of more than 1 billion gold soul coins are eligible to hold this card. It can be said that there are not many cards in the entire Douluo Continent. That's right, the material of this card is made of the scales of a 90,000-year-old soul beast. It can remain intact under the attack of a soul master at the soul Douluo level. It can't be fake. I didn't expect that he would be able to see the Supreme Purple Gold card in his lifetime. The hotel owner's attitude became more respectful and he said to Tianyu, "Okay, young master, I will arrange a rose suite for you now." But at this time, a voice came from outside the door and said, "This room is for me." A man with gorgeous clothes, handsome face and long golden hair walked in from outside. He was hugged by two beautiful women in revealing clothes. The blonde man threw a golden card to the hotel owner and said, This last room, I will buy it at 10 times the price of gold soul coins. Xiao didn't say anything, just watched him pretend quietly. The hotel owner naturally recognized the gold card thrown by the blonde man, which was a special black gold card that only people with a net worth of more than 50 million gold soul coins could hold. Although the price of 10 times the gold soul coins was very tempting, he still chose to give the last room to Xiao, without asking why, because the supreme purple gold card held by Xiao was much higher than his black gold card. The hotel handed the black gold card back to the blonde man and said, "Sorry, guest, the last rose suite has been bought by this gentleman." The blonde man looked at Xiao and was shocked at the first sight. What a handsome man! Why are there so many more handsome men in the world? And the sweet and lovely girl next to him is so beautiful. She is totally incomparable to the two women next to him. The blonde man adjusted his mentality and said to Xiao, "Brother, can you give me this room?" Xiao raised the corner of his mouth slightly and said, "Sure." The blonde man said, "You name a price." Xiao said calmly, 1 million gold soul coins. The blonde man almost vomited blood. 1 million gold soul coins? Why don't you go and rob it? The price of the room for one night is only 10 gold soul coins. This man asked for 1 million and sold it to him 100,000 times the price. Isn't this fooling him? But before he could speak, Xiao continued, "What's wrong? No money? You have no money and you still pretend to be cool and pick up girls, poor bitch." That's right, Xiao was just teasing him. After saying that, Xiao threw the blonde man's black gold card back to him. The blonde man felt humiliated, and he got angry. A level 37 soul power burst out from his body. This man was too arrogant, even more arrogant than him, so he decided to teach this young man a lesson. A white tiger with different eyes condensed behind the blonde man and attached to his back, making the blonde man taller. But at this time, Xiao's system rang. Ling. Top-level martial soul detected, evil eye white tiger, replica object, Daimyo Bei, host whether to choose to replicate martial soul. In fact, Xiao actually knew who the blonde man was a long time ago. Daimyo Bei, the boss of the Shrek 7 Devils in the original book, is also one of the important partners around the male protagonist. In fact, Xiao didn't deliberately tease him, he just wanted to play with him. The humble author is asking for collections, votes, and 5-star book reviews online. These are really important to me. Whether the author can continue to update in the future really depends on these. Thank you very much. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15 Xiao vs Daimyo Bei. Xiao and Daimyo Bei looked at each other and said, "What? Are you angry and embarrassed? Are you sure you want to fight?" Daimyo Bei pointed at Xiao with his tiger claws and said, "Show your martial spirit." Xiao asked Daimyo Bei in an inquiring tone, "Are you sure?" Daimyo Bei said impatiently again, "If you are a man, show your martial spirit quickly." "What, are you afraid?" "Oh, afraid? There is no word afraid in my dictionary, but you may regret it later." As soon as Xiao finished speaking, an extreme golden holy soul power emerged from his body, until a golden holy dragon appeared behind him. The huge dragon pressure of the supreme golden dragon made everyone present unable to stand steadily, and Daimyo Bei's evil-eyed white tiger even had the intention of retracting into Daimyo Bei's body. There was no way, this was the suppression from the blood level. Daimyo Bei had already begun to doubt his life. What kind of evil spirit is this? Why is the power of blood so strong? Just relying on the suppression of blood has reduced the strength of his top spirit, the evil-eyed white tiger, by at least half. How can he fight with half the strength less at the beginning? Although he already knew that the chance of winning might be very slim, he would not give up so easily. Even if the quality of the opponent's spirit is much stronger than his, even if the opponent's spirit power level is one level higher than his, he would still give it a try. This is his dignity as a royal noble, and also his last stubbornness. 3 spirit rings, 2 yellow and 1 purple, floated from his body. That's right, he released 3 spirit skills at once. The first spirit skill, White Tiger Body Shield, defense increased by 50%. The second spirit skill, White Tiger Fierce Light Wave, sends white light waves to attack the enemy, and the third spirit skill, White Tiger Vajra Transformation, becomes more like a white tiger and increases spirit power by 50%. Daimube put his hands on his chest to accumulate power. After the power was accumulated, a white light wave shot straight towards Xianyu. This was Daimube's strongest attack. Seeing the white light wave shooting towards him, Xianyu just slowly raised one hand, grabbed the flying light ball, and then crushed it easily. Daimube was already stunned in place. He originally thought that although his strongest attack could not defeat Xianyu, it could at least cause some damage. As a result, he did not even hurt the other person's fur. The strongest attack he was proud of was not even a ball in his hand. Just when he came to his senses, he heard Xianyu say, "Since you have no other tricks, it's my turn to attack." But before he could react, the pain in his abdomen made him fly backwards out of the hotel quickly, hit the ground hard, and lost his ability to fight. That's right, he was killed by Xianyu in one move, and it couldn't even be considered a move. It should only be considered a punch, because he didn't even use his soul skills. Xianyu looked at his fist and said, "It seems that I used too much strength, but this is too fragile, just like a crispy skin." If Daimube heard this, he would probably faint again. He is a strong attack-type combat soul master. If he compares strength, he can compare with a defensive soul master. Among the 7 types of soul masters, the strong attack type's ability to withstand blows is also ranked second. The problem is that 2 of his 3 soul skills are physical enhancement, but even with such physical enhancement, he still couldn't withstand Xianyu's punch. This is the most embarrassing thing for him. Xianyu said to the hotel owner that the hotel's losses can be deducted from my card at will. After Xianyu finished speaking, he hugged Xiao Wu and went to the rose suite he booked. The hotel owner stared at Xianyu's back as he left, and said, "What a strong young man, he is indeed unfathomable. He is already a level 40 soul master at such a young age. He will definitely be a titled Douluo in the future." In the rose suite, as soon as Xiao Wu entered the room, she quickly stretched out her 2 slender white legs in white stockings from her shoes, and then lazily lay on the rose-colored bed. Xianyu also came to the bed, then sat down and began to think about something. Xiao Wu, who buried her head in the quilt with only 2 cute rabbit ears exposed, seemed to have thought of something. She quickly stood up and jumped onto Xianyu's back, wrapped her arms around Xianyu's neck, and rubbed Xianyu's back, which was a bit comfortable. Xianyu endured the discomfort and said, "Xiao Wu, what's wrong with you?" Xiao Wu put her soft lips to Xianyu's ear and said, "Brother, you look so handsome today." Xianyu pulled Xiao Wu into his arms from behind, mainly because Xiao Wu rubbed him from behind and made him feel too uncomfortable. Xianyu lifted Xiao's hair with his fingers, looked at her and said, "Am I not handsome at other times?" Xiao shook her head and said, "Of course not, brother, you are handsome every day, but you are more handsome and more charming in the battle state today. Really? Isn't it? Brother, didn't you see? The 2 women next to the golden hair looked at you with peach blossoms in their eyes." Xianyu lifted Xiao's small and delicate chin and said, "Really? Although they are attracted to me, I am not attracted to them. After all, they are not you, because I will only be attracted to you." From Xiao Ocean scumbag quotes, Xiao blushed at Xianyu's love words, and her cute bunny ears swayed on her head. Xianyu and Xiao looked at each other, and under the background of the environment and atmosphere, Xianyu kissed her gently. At night, Xiao blushed and lay in Xianyu's arms. Don't think wrongly, Xianyu didn't continue. Xianyu is not such a beast. Xiao raised her head shyly in Xianyu's arms, looked at Xianyu lovingly and said, "Brother Xianyu, if you want, I can. Xiao buried her head in Xianyu's arms, blushing and almost bleeding. Xianyu looked at this lovely girl dotingly, reached out and stroked her pink hair and said, "It's too early. If you lose your virginity too early, it may affect your future practice, so it's better to wait until you grow up." Be good. Xiao was so moved that she loved her brother Xianyu even more. Brothers, today is a double update. I have updated twice, so shouldn't you hand over the tickets in your hands? Chapter 16 Shrek Academy 1. The next morning, the 2 left the Rose Hotel. Xianyu and Xiao left Soto City from the south gate and headed for their destination. Xianyu felt that the Rose Hotel was okay. Although it was not as good as the environment in the spirit world, it was not bad in the mortal world. The main reason was that he had a beautiful woman in his arms last night, so he slept well. Of course, when he and Xiao Wu left, the places damaged by the battle last night were also repaired. It must be said that the speed was quite fast. The main reason was that Tianyu gave enough money quickly. Brother, do you know where Shrek Academy is located? After leaving Soto City, follow the road to the south. On both sides of the official road, there are large tracts of farmland. Soto City is not known as the grain capital of the Bara Kingdom for nothing. However, looking at it, there are no tall buildings except for large tracts of golden wheat fields. Tianyu also found the address according to the original book, Shrek, an intermediate college located in a small village outside Soto City. I don't know the details, let's continue to go south, we will find it eventually. After walking for less than a while, Xiao Wu suddenly said in a greasy voice, Brother. Tianyu asked in confusion, what's wrong, Xiao Wu? Xiao Wu hugged Tianyu's arm and started to act cute and coquettishly, Brother, I'm so tired, can you carry me? Tianyu couldn't stand Xiao Wu's coquettishness, and said helplessly, okay. As soon as Tianyu finished speaking, Xiao Wu had already jumped onto Tianyu's back quickly, with her arms around Tianyu's neck. Tianyu was already accustomed to Xiao Wu's movements. With his hands, he leaned forward slightly and carried Xiao Wu on his back. Xiao Wu was very light, and for Tianyu's physique, it didn't take any effort at all. Xiao Wu's cultivation is not low now. Under Tianyu's careful care, she has also reached level 32. Naturally, she is not tired from walking. Tianyu is still clear about her little thoughts. Tianyu carried Xiao on his back for a while, and Xiao suddenly said, Brother, look, there is a small village over there. Tianyu looked in the direction Xiao pointed, and saw a small village about a mile ahead. With his superhuman vision, he could clearly see that the village had about 100 households, which was smaller than Tang San's Holy Soul village. The village was surrounded by a circle of wooden fences, which seemed to be used to prevent wild soul beasts. There were also many people gathered at the entrance of the village. I don't know what happened. Tianyu smiled and said, Xiao, let's go over there, that should be Shrek Academy. Xiao pointed to the front and said with a smile, Brother, speed up. Tianyu patted her hips with his backhand in annoyance, put a little force on his feet, and walked quickly towards the direction of the village. When they got closer, Tianyu and Xiao also saw the situation here clearly. There were indeed many people gathered at the entrance of the village, most of whom were teenagers of the same age as them, and most of them were accompanied by their parents. There was a table at the entrance of the village, and behind the table sat an old man in his 60s. What stunned Tianyu and Xiao was that a plaque that looked a bit shabby was hung on the wooden arch at the entrance of the village, with 5 simple words engraved on it, Shrek Academy. In front of these 5 words, there was a green head, which looked like the head of a humanoid monster. It was green and a little cute. The old man behind the table also had a similar green round badge on his chest. It should be the school badge of Shrek Academy. No way. Xiao jumped off Tianyu's back, looked at the plaque in surprise, and then looked back at Tianyu. Xiao was a little stunned. Even the scale of Notting Junior Soul Master Academy is much larger than this place, and this is obviously like an ordinary small village. The arch at the door is not only made of wood, but also less than 1/3 the size of Notting Academy. This can also be called a Soul Master Academy? Brother, are you mistaken? No matter how I look at it, I don't think this is a school. Brother, you must have been deceived. Tianyu touched Xiao's head and said, Of course I am not mistaken, and how could I be deceived? The people who dare to deceive your brother no longer exist. Why is Tianyu so sure? Because this is how the Shrek Academy is described in the original book. The parents of a teenager who was in front of Tianyu and Xiao were following them. The boy's mother said, Are you kidding me? Is this the so-called Soul Master Academy? Or is it the academy that claims that graduates can become viscounts of the empire? The boy's father said uncertainly, This is what the people from the Spirit Hall said. It shouldn't be wrong. But this academy is really shabby. The boy said, Dad, I don't want to go to school here. It's too embarrassing. Let's go to the Intermediate Soul Master Academy in Soto City. After all, I was considered a genius when I was in the primary Soul Master Academy. There were definitely many similar words in the crowd, and most people had disappointment on their faces. Tianyu's gaze did not linger on these people. His gaze went to the front of the line, which was the registration place. The old man sitting behind the table who was responsible for accepting registrations looked lazy. His clothes were simple, to put it nicely. No matter how you look at him, he looked like a village old man. At this time, a teenager came to the table to register. The old man said lazily, "The registration fee is 10 gold soul coins. Just put them in that box." The boy's father, who was accompanying him, quickly took out 10 gold soul coins and put them in a box made of several wooden boards. "Stretch out a hand." The boy stretched out his hand in front of the old man as he was told. The old man pinched his hand twice, shook his head at him, and said, "You are not old enough, you can go." The boy was stunned for a moment, turned his head to look at his father. There are not many teenagers who are as precocious as Tang San. His father hurriedly smiled and said, "Teacher, my son just turned 13. Do you think you can make some concessions?" The old man said a little impatiently, "Don't affect the people behind. Don't you know the rules of the academy? We only accept children under 13 years old. No one over 13 will be accepted. You can go." The boy's father said, "Then our registration fee." The old man said bluntly, "Once registered, it will not be refunded. Even a clay man still has some earthiness." The boy's father could not help but said angrily, "You are clearly trying to cheat us. RNM, refund our registration fee, otherwise we will not leave. If we had known that this so-called Shrek Academy is so shabby, we should not have come." The old man glanced at him and said lightly, "You buy? Someone wants to refund the registration fee, you deal with it." A figure quickly jumped out from the ground next to him. "Double update today, double update, double update. So hurry up and hand over the tickets in your hands." Greek letter Omega. Chapter 17 Shrek Academy, 2. You can return the registration fee if you want. If you can defeat me, all the gold soul coins will be returned. This person is Daimyo. Tianyu had already sensed him when he was behind the crowd just now. Daimyo didn't waste any words. He directly activated his soul power and released all 3 soul rings, including 200-year soul rings and 1000-year soul ring. The surging soul power formed an invisible pressure in the air. The evil eyes flashed with cold light and looked at the father and son. Of course, this is just the feeling of people with low soul power. To Tianyu, Daimyo at this time is more like a kitten with white hair on his head and a bigger body. Among soul masters, soul rings are always the best, right to speak. Seeing the 3 soul rings on Daimyo, including a 1000-year soul ring, the boy's father's face changed drastically. He said, "It's our bad luck," and took his son away quickly. Daimyo sat down on the chair beside him again. His evil eyes glanced coldly at the teenagers and parents who registered behind him. The threat was obvious. The pressure brought by 3 soul rings is not something that ordinary people can bear. At this moment, he no longer looked like a dandy, but rather like a thug. Another boy who signed up came to the old man, and his parents confidently put 10 gold soul coins into the wooden box. The boy stretched out his hand for the old man to touch, and the old man nodded and said, "You are just 12 years old, release your martial soul and let me see." The boy obediently released his martial soul, and a thick green vine emerged from the boy's palm, circling around him, and along with the martial soul, there was also a yellow soul ring. The first time the old man saw the martial spirit, he shook his head and said, "You are not qualified and you can go." The boy's parents had a confident expression on their faces, but when they heard the old man say that their child was not qualified, the expressions on their faces froze. His mother couldn't help asking, "Why? My son is a top student in the junior college. Didn't you see that his spirit ring is 100 years old? There are not many spirit masters with a 100-year spirit ring." The old man said lightly, "It is naturally good that the first spirit ring is 100 years old, but he is just an ordinary person." The boy's father frowned and said, "I don't understand what you mean." The old man stood up from behind the table impatiently, not only to the parents of the boy in front of him, but also to the people queuing up behind him to register. "Come to our Shrek Academy to register, you should first understand the rules. If you come here without understanding it, you will just give away the registration fee in vain. It's not too late to regret it now. Do you know the meaning of Shrek and the name of Shrek Academy?" Most of the applicants were confused after hearing the old man's words. The old man said coldly, "Shrek is a monster, even among soul beasts. It is a very strange existence. The meaning of our Shrek Academy is the Monster Academy. In other words, we only accept monsters here, not ordinary people. Those who are over 13 years old, or whose soul power has not reached level 21 or above, don't waste time here. As soon as he finished speaking, the strength of the level 60 Soul Emperor was released. People with low soul power were shocked by this sudden soul power. Most of the people present had a soul power level of only level 10 or 20, but Tianyu was different. He was not shocked at all, because he knew that the old man was going to show off. After the scene happened, the number of people in the queue was reduced by more than half. No one wanted to waste money, but more people sighed. After all, a teacher who was just a gatekeeper was a soul emperor of more than 60 levels. There were only a handful of soul emperors of level 60 even in the empire. It is conceivable whether there are more powerful teachers in the academy. After all, not everyone is like Xiao, who has a bunch of titled Douluo brothers under him. Xiao Wu was originally a little disappointed, but after she heard the old man's words, her interest was aroused. An academy that only accepts monsters? Isn't the other meaning of monster a genius? The dragon-patterned stick in the old man's hand fell to the ground, and a low muffled sound spread out, and almost everyone's footsteps staggered back. The old man waved his hand at the stunned family of 3 in front of him. Next, the light of the soul ring converged, and all the soul power disappeared in an instant. The old man returned to his previous lazy look, as if the aura of the soul emperor was not released by him. If some parents were angry about the old man's words before, now everyone is silent. Who dares to offend a soul emperor level strong man? While looking at the applicants in front, Xiao Wu's mood has become excited. She whispered in Xianyu's ear, "This academy looks very interesting, especially the teacher's words that only monsters are accepted and not ordinary people. Isn't this talking about you? Brother, you are more of a monster than a monster. I just don't know if this academy dares to accept you. What's wrong? Did you just think that brother was deceived?" Xiao Wu hugged Xianyu's arm and shook it and said, "Oh, who said that the appearance of this academy is too shabby? Since they have already lined up in the front, they can naturally see Daimyo sitting behind the old man at a close distance. Daimyo is not only responsible for calming the scene, but also responsible for bringing students who have passed the preliminary examination into the academy." At this time, Daimyo also saw Xianyu and Xiao Wu. When he saw Xianyu, he shuddered instantly. There was no way. He was really traumatized by Xianyu's beating that night. What's more terrifying is that Xianyu is still smiling at him. Xianyu just wanted to simply smile and say hello to Daimyo. After all, they will also be in the same academy in the future, so there is no need to make it so excessive. But in Daimyo's eyes, Xianyu's smile was too scary. Just as they were communicating with each other with their eyes, suddenly, a light exclamation drew Xianyu's gaze back. The old man who was in charge of receiving the registration showed a look of doubt on his face. At this time, a girl stood in front of him and retracted her outstretched hand. The girl was not accompanied by her parents, she was alone. A simple white dress gave people a very clean feeling. She had neat short hair and was about half a head shorter than Xiao. Because she was facing away from Xianyu and Xiao, her appearance could not be seen, but from the skin on her neck, it could be found that the girl's skin was very good and extremely white and tender. "Excuse me, can I pass the preliminary test?" The girl's voice was soft and beautiful, lacking a bit of heroic spirit, but it sounded soft, giving people a soft feeling. Tang San could guess from the look Daimyo gave the girl that the girl must be very beautiful, because the light in Daimyo's evil eyes was no longer cold, but like a wolf. Of course, it's the colored wolf. Chapter 18, Releasing the Twin Martial Spirits. The shock on the old man's face slowly subsided, and he frowned and said, "Does your family know that you are here?" The girl did not answer his question directly, but smiled and said, "It is said that there is no distinction between people in education. As long as I meet the requirements of the academy, you have no reason not to accept me." The old man hesitated for a second, then said to Daimyo, "Take her to the gathering over there." The lustful light in Daimyo's eyes disappeared in the blink of an eye, and he returned to his usual cold and arrogant expression, and walked towards the open space in the academy with the girl. When the girl walked past Xianyu, she glanced at Xianyu curiously, because from the beginning she found that Xianyu's eyes were different from those of others. When he looked at her, Xianyu looked at her with very pure eyes. Xianyu also saw the girl looking at him, and responded with a handsome smile. The girl blushed a little at Xianyu's sudden handsome smile. The girl turned around quickly, thinking to herself, What's wrong with me today? Why did she blush at a smile, or is this man's smile magical? Tianyu certainly knew who the girl in the white dress was, Ning Rongrong, one of the Shrek 7 devils in the original book, and also one of the heroines. Xiao Wu, who was beside Tianyu, watched Tianyu's every move quietly. Xiao pulled the corner of Tianyu's clothes. Tianyu looked away and turned his head and asked, "What's wrong, Xiao?" Xiao Wu said angrily, "Brother, what were you looking at just now?" Tianyu said calmly, "Look at that girl, don't you think she is very beautiful?" Tianyu was really straightforward. Who would praise other girls for their beauty in front of their girlfriend? Humph, that's not what I'm talking about. Just look at it. Why are you still smiling at her? Don't you really know how powerful your smile is? Xiao Wu and Tianyu have been together for so long. Xiao Wu naturally knows how charming Tianyu's smile is. It can be said that no girl can feel nothing after Tianyu's handsome smile. Even though she has been with Tianyu for so long, she is sometimes easily blushed by Tianyu's charming smile. Tianyu touched his heart pretending not to know and said, "Is it really that charming?" Seeing that Tianyu was still pretending, Xiao Wu said angrily, "Humph, I'm angry and I won't pay attention to you." Of course Xiao Wu was not really angry. Tianyu also knew that Xiao Wu was not really angry. He touched Xiao Wu's cute bunny head lovingly and said, "Although that girl is very pretty, she is still not as pretty as her lovely Xiao Wu." Xiao Wu was naturally very happy to hear Tianyu praising her for being cute, and said, "Okay, I forgive you this time." The remaining students quickly passed the first round of the old man's test, and it was finally Tianyu and Xiao's turn. At this time, Tianyu had returned to the old man after sending a few applicants. Tianyu found that Tianyu's eyes suddenly changed, staring straight at the direction behind him, as if he saw something incredible. Tianyu, who knew Tianyu's character well, knew that Tianyu must have seen a beautiful woman to have such a perverted look. Behind him and Xiao, there was only one applicant left, and it seemed that she had just arrived. She was also a girl, who seemed to be a little younger than Xiao, with long black hair draped over her shoulders, her face slightly lowered, her height was about the same as the girl in the white dress before, and her skin was also similar to Bei's. However, this girl gave people a different feeling. In contrast to her fiery figure, the expression on the girl's face was very cold, a kind of coldness from the heart, pure coldness, and there was not even a trace of life in her pair of black eyes. It was somewhat conflicting with her originally very beautiful face. The limbs are well proportioned and slender, and the hands hang naturally on both sides of the body. The kind of dead coldness released from the body is difficult to adapt to. This time is different from the last time. Tianyu only looked for a while, then looked away and went to find the old man to sign up, definitely not because Xiao's hand was already on his waist. Because she already knew who the girl was, Zhu Zhuqing, one of the Shrek 7 devils in the original book, and also one of the heroines. When they arrived at the registration office, the old man asked him to stretch out his hand. Tianyu also stretched out his hand. The old man pinched Tianyu's palm, and after a few pinches, the old man's eyes became a little strange. The old man thought to himself, "What a strange boy, except for his bone age, everything else seems to be hidden by an invisible barrier." Finding that he really couldn't find out the truth about Tianyu, the old man could only say, "Your age is right, release your martial spirit." But in his heart, Tianyu has been labeled as unfathomable. Tianyu withdrew his hand and said, "Which martial soul are you talking about?" The old man was speechless. Which martial soul could it be? Do you have a second martial soul? At this point, the old man's face suddenly changed. Then he confirmed again, "You mean, you have two martial souls?" Tianyu thought about it for a while, and decided to expose only two martial souls first, so he said, "Yes." The old man said in disbelief, "Release your martial soul and see." Tianyu said, "Then you have to be prepared." After Tianyu finished speaking, all of his level 41 soul power was displayed. The most terrifying thing was the two super god level dragon martial souls, one light and one dark, condensed and hovered behind him. The powerful dragon power spread throughout the entire Shrek Academy. Many teachers in the Shrek Academy were shocked and ran out, and even the Dean of Shrek flew out with his martial soul. Tianyu felt that he seemed to be a little too high profile. He never liked to do things in a high profile manner, so Tianyu quickly suppressed the dragon power. However, Many teachers in the academy and the students who came to register still saw the release of Tianyu's martial soul. Many teachers in the academy were on high alert, but the old teacher hurriedly stepped forward to explain the ins and outs. The teachers in the academy only then knew that Tianyu was a student who came to register. After knowing the ins and outs, the teachers let down their guard. After all, the soul power released by Tianyu was too strong, and they had to be vigilant. Flanders, the dean of Shrek Academy, came to Tianyu, pushed his glasses and said, "It turns out to be a twin martial spirit, and it is a powerful dragon twin martial spirit." Tianyu was not embarrassed at all, and said directly, "Will your academy accept me as a student?" Flanders patted Tianyu on the shoulder and said, "Yes, of course we will. As long as you meet the requirements and are a real little monster, the door of our Shrek Academy will be open to you. But you still have to pass the second test to truly become a student of our Shrek Academy." Tianyu did not say arrogantly, "Are you teaching me how to do things?" Instead, he said, "Okay, I will pass the second round of tests." The most shocked person present was Daimyubei, because only Daimyubei and Tianyu knew that Tianyu had hidden his martial soul. Because the dragon martial soul that Tianyu released that night was clearly golden, and it was an ultimate gold element dragon martial soul, and the two dragon martial souls that Tianyu just released, one was clearly of light element, and the other was of dark element, definitely not the dragon martial soul that night. In other words, Tianyu has the three lives martial soul, the three lives martial soul. He has never seen a three lives martial soul in his life, and each martial soul is an extremely powerful dragon three-life martial soul. Daimyubei looked at Tianyu's back quietly, and sighed, "I don't know who will be the boss of Shrek in the future. Ahem, my lovely book friends, this book is going to add new settings again. In this plane, due to some special reasons, Tang San may not be the only one who has twin martial souls. At present, there are several geniuses with twin martial souls in the Empire. The main purpose is to add some challenges to the male protagonist, otherwise it would be too boring if they were all killed in seconds. But it still has no impact on the plot, because the protagonist is still invincible. Also, if book friends have any suggestions, you can leave a message below the comments, and the author will definitely read it." Chapter 19 Ning Rongrong. The old man who signed up smiled, "It's really a complete little monster. Mubei, take them in." "Yes." Daimyubei stepped forward and smiled at Tianyu, and Tianyu smiled back at Daimyubei. He should also know that Tianyu has no hostility towards him. He was just playing with him that night, but he accidentally hit him a little too hard. He will still treat him as a friend in the future. Tianyu followed Daimyubei into the village. All he saw were wooden buildings. If he had to use a word to describe it, it would be simple and plain. Not far away, Daimyubei brought them to an open space, surrounded by wooden school buildings. This open space is about 1,000 square meters, right in the center of the college. If Tianyu guessed correctly, this should be the place for the second round of tests, and they will fight against the 70th level fighting soul Saint Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu, who was waiting with Tianyu on the side, suddenly said, "Brother, I'm going back to the spirit world to relieve myself. You have to wait for me here obediently." After saying that, she ran back to the spirit world. Xiao Wu went back to the spirit world, leaving Tianyu alone waiting. When Tianyu was wondering why Tang San hadn't come yet at this time, a sweet voice sounded beside Tianyu. "Hello, may I ask what happened outside the academy just now?" Tianyu turned around and found that the person who spoke to him was Ning Rongrong. Ning Rongrong herself didn't know what was going on, but she felt that there was something strangely attractive about this man, making people unable to help but walk forward. Tianyu scratched his head and said, "Sorry, that was the noise I made when I released my martial spirit just now." Ning Rongrong covered his mouth in surprise. "Can you really make such a big noise when releasing your martial spirit?" "Indeed, it can, but it depends on the quality and strength of the martial spirit." Tianyu really explained it seriously. Ning Rongrong nodded beside him, not quite understanding, and looked a little cute. "I'll release it again for you to see during the second round of testing." "Okay." Ning Rongrong really wanted to see what a martial spirit that could make such a noise looked like. "By the way, what's your name?" Ning Rongrong blushed a little. After all, who would ask someone's name right after meeting them? "My name is Dongfang Tianyu, you can just call me Tianyu." "What about you? What's your name?" "Tianyu, my name is Ning Rongrong, you can also call me Rongrong." Rongrong, it's a nice name. Hello, my name is Xiao Wu, the dance-like Wu. Xiao Wu came out of the spirit world at some point, and as soon as she came out, she took Tianyu's arm and introduced herself to Ning Rongrong. Hello. Ning Rongrong suddenly saw a girl who was prettier than her taking Tianyu's arm, and they seemed so intimate, and her mood became a little strange. Just when the atmosphere was a little awkward, a voice rang out, "Xia Ocean." Tianyu turned around after hearing the voice, and it was indeed Tang San. After all, only Tang San would call him that. Tang San, Xiao Tian, long time no see. Tianyu, yes, 5 years. By the way, Xiao San, why are you here? Tang San, Master asked me to come. Master said this is a very special academy, and I just saw it. Tang San came to the academy after Tianyu was promoted, and the last to come in was the cold goddess Zhu Zhuqing. There were 5 students who passed the first round of assessment this time, much more than in previous years. Shrek Academy has not accepted new students for 2 or 3 years, and this time there were 5. At this time, a middle-aged man walked slowly to the test site. He was not tall and had an ordinary appearance, but he looked very strong. His height, which was shorter than that of the 12-year-old Tang San, gave people a sense of majesty. His broad shoulders were like a city wall, and his coat could not hide his strong muscles that seemed to be cast in steel. Although his expression was kind, his strong body would give people a strong sense of oppression. There are 5 students this year, 4 of whom are above level 25, and there is a little monster that I can't even see through. It seems that there are quite a few little monsters this year. This is the last level. If you pass my test, you can officially become a member of Shrek Academy. However, my test is not so easy to pass. Practical experience is a must for every soul master. What I am testing is your practical ability. Xiao Wuji smiled and swept his eyes over Tianyu and the other 5, looking at them gently. My name is Xiao Wuji. Since the 5 of you are all little monsters that have passed the first round of screening, I will play with you in person. Now I will give you 1 incense stick of time to get to know each other and discuss. After 1 incense stick, the test will begin. The content of the test is that the 4 of you will join forces to resist my attack for 1 incense stick of time. As long as 1 person can hold on to the end, you will pass. I hope you understand that you should not try to take shortcuts. No one can escape from this range with speed. At the same time, I can also remind you that it is impossible to block my attack by your own strength. Mutual coordination and cooperation are your only chance of success. At this time Daimyo stood up. Teacher Zhao, this is not good. You are a soul sage. If you are not careful, you will hurt them. Zhao Wuji, are you teaching me how to do things? When the dean is not here, I am the biggest in this academy. Well, I'm going to start lighting incense. You don't have much time, so get ready. You can also tell them about my strength characteristics so that they can be prepared. Daimyo came to Tianyu and the others, and said with a serious face, I didn't expect that teacher Zhao would actually take action himself. Tang San, that teacher Zhao won't be a soul emperor like the teacher at the door. Daimyo shook his head and said, no. Tang San, then don't be afraid. After all, the 4 of us have a strength close to level 30. It should be no problem to last for an incense stick of time. Daimyo, although teacher Zhao is not a soul emperor, he is a level 76 soul sage, beast martial soul, and battle soul sage. He is the vice president of the academy, and his strength is only slightly weaker than the dean. Except for Tang San, who was a little shocked, the others didn't feel anything. After all, they were all people who had seen the world. Tianyu and Xiao were not to be mentioned. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing were the daughters of powerful forces. They had seen many soul Douluo and title Douluo level soul masters. Tianyu yawned in boredom. Soul Saint? With Tianyu's current strength, even if a soul Douluo came, he would only be beaten. Sorry, the update is late today, because the author has to go to class. I just got back to the dormitory after class and wrote for you. There is another chapter being written today. Tianyu will start to pretend again in the next chapter. Please look forward to how Tianyu beats Soul Saint Xiao Wuji in the next chapter. Chapter 20, Battle against Xiao Wuji. Daimyo, Teacher Zhao's martial spirit is the mighty King Kong bear, a powerful beast martial spirit. There is no flaw in the whole body, and the defense is extremely terrifying. Even a soul master of the same level as him can hardly break his defense and cause him harm. Although speed is not what Teacher Xiao is good at, the gap between your and his soul power is too big, and it is impossible to be faster than him in this regard. Teacher Xiao's strongest points are attack power and defense. He is nicknamed Aquila in the academy. Let alone the four of you, even if I am added, we may not be able to block his attack for an incense stick. Now I just hope that Teacher Xiao will not be so serious when attacking you. No weaknesses. These four simple words have already said what Xiao Wuji is strong about. Tianyu, okay, let's introduce each other first, and then discuss countermeasures based on the situation of our respective martial spirits. Tang San was the first to speak. My name is Tang San, my martial spirit is Blue Silver Grass, and I am a level 29 control system combat soul master. Ning Rongrong said the second. Ning Rongrong, martial spirit is the 7 treasures exquisite tower, and I am a level 26 auxiliary system weapon soul master. After saying that, she secretly glanced at Tianyu. The cold girl was still indifferent. Zhu Zhuqing, beast spirit nether spirit cat, level 27 agile attack spirit master. Xiao Wu, beast spirit soft bone rabbit, level 32 strong attack spirit master. When Xiao Wu finished talking about the spirit level, everyone present looked at Xiao Wu in surprise. Until Tianyu said his spirit level. Tianyu, Dongfang Tianyu, twin spirits, light holy dragon emperor, dark holy demon dragon, level 41, strong attack spirit master. The powerful twin holy dragon spirits amazed everyone as soon as they appeared. Even Xiao Wuji, who was sleeping nearby, was awakened by the shock. He thought it was an enemy attack. Here is an explanation. Because the names of the protagonist spirits are too long, the author sometimes can't remember them, so sometimes the names change when they appear, but these do not affect the domineering nature of the spirits themselves. Everyone present was dumbfounded. Level 41? And twin spirits? These are not the most important things. The most terrible thing is that Tianyu is only 12 years old. A 12-year-old soul master? This time, it was not Tianyu who was madly shocked in his heart, but Tang San. At this time, Tang San thought, Xiao Ocean is already level 41? I thought my spirit power upgrade speed was already very fast, but compared with Tianyu's upgrade speed, it seems a bit too ridiculous. Tang San's spirit power upgrade speed can be said to be sweeping his peers, but unfortunately he met the monster Tianyu. When did Xiao Ocean have twin spirits? And I remember that Xiao Ocean's original spirit was not from the magic vine? Could it be that Xiao Ocean has hidden his martial soul? In other words, Xiao Ocean now has at least a triple martial soul? The teacher said that the rarest martial soul on the continent is not the twin martial soul. There is a triple martial soul that is even rarer than the twin martial soul. Ning Rongrong covered her mouth in surprise. It turns out that Tianyu actually has a twin martial soul. As the daughter of a super large sect, Ning Rongrong naturally knew how rare twin martial souls were, and both martial souls were twin martial souls of the strongest dragon clan. Even if they were placed in the spirit hall, they would be snatched up. Although the cold goddess Zhu Zhuqing did not show anything on the surface, she was also shocked in her heart. The powerful King Kong bear martial soul in Xiao Wuji's body not far away was already trembling. This was another suppression from the blood level. This was just a problem with the martial soul, and had nothing to do with people. Okay, since we have almost understood the martial souls, I will assign their respective positions. Rongrong, please trouble you for a while. You are responsible for helping me increase my soul power. Yes. Xiao San, you are responsible for helping me control. No problem, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing will be responsible for cooperating with me. Okay, brother. Tang San thought about it carefully and felt something was wrong. Xiao Yan, shouldn't I rely on defense to hold on for this minute? With this assignment, do you want to abandon defense for offense? Don't worry, I believe that teacher Xiao Wuji will let us go, so we shouldn't play so timidly. I believe that teacher Xiao Wuji doesn't want us to be timid when we encounter an enemy stronger than us in the future. Well, okay, Tang San was a little helpless. He was a calm and steady person, but he felt that Tianyu was right. Is this the confidence that comes from a genius? Xiao Wuji came to the middle of the venue and said, okay, time's up. Tianyu and the others also came to the center of the venue and stood in confrontation with Xiao Wuji. The second round of tests was about to begin. Tianyu was directly possessed by the light holy dragon emperor martial spirit. Tianyu's appearance began to change. His hair turned into long platinum gold hair, His pupils also turned into platinum gold dragon pupils, and a pair of light holy dragon claws were attached to his fists. A pair of holy dragon wings made of soul power were attached to Xianyu's back, making Xianyu in a semi-floating state. At this time, Xianyu was so handsome in the combat state. Just look at the expressions of several girls at this time. Daimyo Bei and Tang San were watching from the side with envy. Daimyo Bei, I originally thought that my white tiger martial spirit was handsome enough when possessed, but compared with Xianyu's current appearance, I feel that my white tiger possession is really ugly. Rongrong, give me an increase. Hearing Xianyu's command, Ning Rongrong, who was still immersed in Xianyu's martial spirit possession, came back to her senses, and then hurriedly summoned the martial spirit. The 7 treasures have names, one of which is power. The 7 treasures have names, the second one is speed. 2 yellow spirit rings appeared on Ning Rongrong's body, and then 2 amplifying halos hit Xianyu's body. Xiao Wuji was a little surprised. You actually chose to take the initiative to attack. Emperor Light Dragon Fist. Xianyu went up and used a self-created spirit skill. Xiao Wuji was about to step forward to receive the punch, but suddenly he felt his feet tighten. Just as he was about to dodge, his feet were restrained by the vines released by Tang San. Seeing that Xianyu's fist had reached his face, Xiao Wuji quickly activated his first spirit skill, Akalanatha Body. With a bang, a figure was blasted out directly from the smoke. Not far away, Xiao Wuji was rubbing his red right cheek and said, I was a little careless. I didn't expect your physical body to be so strong. Then I won't let you go. Xiao Wuji only knew that he was letting Xiao Wuji win, but he didn't know that Xianyu was letting Xiao Wuji win. Xianyu was already trying his best to control his strength, for fear that he would injure Xiao Wuji by accident. Letting Rongrong and the others cooperate was also to give them a sense of participation. And they couldn't win so easily, and had to act very tired. Alice Xianyu could be said to be acting very seriously. I'm sorry, I wanted to post this chapter quickly, but it was delayed for so long. Chapter 21:1. A purple soul ring floated up from Xiao Wuji's body, 3rd soul skill, gravity enhancement. Instantly, an invisible gravity spread outward with Xiao Wuji as the center. Wherever this gravity passed, Tang San and the others felt as if they were pressed down by a huge rock, but they still held on and did not fall down. Xiao Wuji looked at Xianyu in shock, because Xianyu was clearly in the range of gravity enhancement, but he was still floating in the air as if nothing had happened. Sword of Holy Light. Another self-created soul skill, a lightsaber condensed in Xianyu's hand, and it was thrown out with a strike, and the lightsaber directly tracked Xiao Wuji. This time Xiao Wuji did not dare to take Xianyu's soul skill head-on. The soul power of the Holy Dragon Emperor of Light is very special. Each super god level martial soul has its own exclusive soul power, and the exclusive soul power of the Holy Dragon Emperor of Light martial soul has a very strong penetrating ability. It can ignore defense, and it hurts to be hit. Xiao Wuji just tried it. Xiao Wuji took a step back and dodged Xianyu's lightsaber. Just when Xiao Wuji was about to be proud, he saw the lightsaber make a sharp turn and slash towards Xiao Wuji again. Xiao Wuji, his brothers, it actually has a tracking function. Xiao Wuji was unable to dodge, and the lightsaber slashed directly at him, causing Xiao Wuji to scream in pain. Daimyo Bei, who was watching the battle, was a little confused. Strange, Xianyu's spirit skill obviously didn't cause any injuries to Teacher Xiao. Why did Teacher Xiao scream out in pain? Xiao Wuji really wanted to say at this time, what kind of spirit skill is this? Although it can't cause any injuries to the body, it really hurts. Ignore defense to understand. At this time, Xiao Wuji thought in his heart, it feels a bit embarrassing. A level 76 spirit saint was beaten by a level 41 spirit master and screamed, so he decided not to let him go. A black spirit ring floated up from Xiao Wuji's feet. 5th spirit skill, Gravity Squeeze. Gravity Squeeze can be said to be an upgraded version of Gravity Enhancement, which can make the opponent be squeezed by gravity from all directions. Xiao Wuji originally wanted to use Gravity Squeeze to get Xianyu down first, so that he could fight better. After all, Xianyu was flying in the sky, and he was in a passive position at a low place. But Xianyu didn't come down, but Tang San and the others couldn't hold on. He was squeezed by gravity and half knelt on the ground. Only Xianyu was still floating in the sky leisurely. Oh? Serious? Then should I be more serious too? Xianyu thought in his heart. A purple soul ring rose from Xiao Wuji's feet. Fourth soul skill, positioning and tracking. The moment the fourth soul ring is used, once the opponent is locked, the opponent can be closed by the power of jumping within 100 meters, giving the opponent a fatal blow. A red mark appeared on Tianyu's head. Tianyu was directly locked, and with a bang, Xiao Wuji directly launched and appeared in front of Tianyu in an instant. A black soul ring floated from Xiao Wuji's body. Sixth soul skill, powerful diamond roar. A strong sound wave condensed by soul power rushed directly towards Tianyu. Tang San and the others were watching with fear. After all, this was the sixth soul skill of a soul saint. Even though they knew that Tianyu was very strong, it was unlikely that he could take the strongest blow of a soul saint. Among the people below, only Xiao Wu kept smiling, because he knew that with this little strength, he could not hurt his brother Tianyu. Tianyu used his soul skills, and a black soul ring floated from Tianyu's body. Third soul skill, ultimate holy light. A holy light with terrifying power shot out from Tianyu's hand in an instant, directly breaking and dispersing the soul power of Xiao Wuji's sixth soul skill, the mighty King Kong roar. The holy light hit Xiao Wuji directly, and Xiao Wuji was smashed directly into the ground below. Daimyo hurried over to check on Xiao Wuji. Tianyu shook a few times in the air, and the wings of light disappeared directly. Tianyu fell directly and fell into Ning Rongrong's arms. Ning Rongrong looked at Tianyu in her arms, a little flustered, and her face was a little flushed. Xiao Wu also ran to Ning Rongrong's side worriedly, and shouted worriedly, "Brother, are you okay?" Xiao Wu didn't understand why brother's strength was weakened so much today. It shouldn't be. Xiao Wu suddenly saw a faint smile on Tianyu's mouth, who was lying comfortably in Ning Rongrong's arms. Xiao Wu understood instantly. I was wondering why brother became weak today. It turned out that he was pretending, just to take advantage of Rongrong. I was wondering how it was so accurate, just fell into Rongrong's arms. Humph, your brother, you don't lie in the arms of such a lovely sister, but you lie in the arms of other girls, you playboy. After saying that, he punched Tianyu in the stomach. At the moment when Xiao Wu's white fist was about to hit Tianyu, Tianyu came out of Ning Rongrong's arms directly. Tianyu touched his nose a little embarrassedly. I was discovered. Seeing Tianyu, who was lying weakly in his arms just now, he was full of energy in a blink of an eye, and didn't look like he was exhausted at all. Looking at Xiao Wu's cute angry look, Ning Rongrong, the smart girl, understood instantly, and the blush on her face spread to her ears. She thought to herself, does Tianyu like to lie in my arms? After Ning Rongrong knew the truth, the first thing she thought of was not anger, but whether Tianyu liked to lie in her arms. What's wrong with this girl? At this time, Xiao Wuji had already climbed out of the pit. Because of Tianyu's release from the sea, Xiao Wuji didn't have any serious injuries. After eating an Oscar sausage, his injuries recovered. After recovery, Xiao Wuji said to Tianyu and the others, "You have passed the assessment, congratulations, and you have officially become Shrek students. Mubei, take them to the dormitory." Okay. Mubei took Tianyu and the others to their dormitory. Xiao Wuji looked at Tianyu's departing back, touched the wound on his chest which was still a little painful and said, "Is this really just a monster? This should be a demon." Here I want to say sorry to the readers. My writing state is not very good recently. The update is getting slower and slower, and I often get stuck. I am really sorry to the book friends who are waiting for my update. However, the author will slowly start to adjust the state and then write well. Since the author is also a new writer, the fighting scenes in this chapter may not be described very well. Please don't scold me, point it out. I will change it. Thank you for your support. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22 Dormitory. Under the leadership of Mubei, Tianyu and the others also came to the dormitory. The student dormitory is a few wooden cabins built of wood. Although it looks a bit simple, it is still very clean. Each student has his own single room. Since I am the earliest student, dormitory number 1 is mine, number 2 is Oscar's, number 3 is Tianyu's, number 4 is Tang San's, number 5 is Xiao Wu's, number 6 is Ning Rongrong's, and number 7 is Zhu Zhuqing's. You should all rest early today. We still have special training tomorrow morning. Yeah, I understand. Xiao nodded first. Yeah, I'm so tired, it's time to have a good rest. Then Xiao walked towards dormitory number 3. Tianyu Bei saw her walking towards dormitory number 3 and said, Xiao, you went to the wrong dormitory. Huh? Did you go the wrong way? Xiao looked up and looked at the door number. It's number 3, I didn't go wrong. That's Xianyu's dormitory, your dormitory is number 5. That's why I said I didn't go wrong, because my brother and I sleep in the same dormitory. When Xiao Wu said this, everyone present was shocked. Oscar pointed at Xianyu and Xiao Wu and said, are you really going to sleep together? Xiao Wu came to Xianyu and hugged Xianyu's arm. I have slept with my brother since I was a child, and we have never been apart for a day. And there is no rule in the college that boys and girls can't live in the same dormitory, right? What do you think, Dai boss? It seems that there is no rule. That's right. After saying that, he took Xianyu back to dormitory number 3. But Tianyu Bei and Oscar next to him were envious. Tang San didn't feel anything. Tang San's personality was relatively calm, unlike Tianyu Bei, who was like a human-shaped teddy bear and couldn't walk when he saw a beautiful woman. I don't know why, every time he saw Xianyu and Xiao Wu together, he always felt that there seemed to be a green light flashing on his head. I don't know if it was an illusion or something. Ning Rongrong looked at Xiao holding Xianyu's arm intimately, and she didn't know why she felt a little uncomfortable. In dormitory number 3, in front of the window under the moonlight, Xiao sat on Xianyu's lap. Xiao's hair, like a waterfall, fell naturally. Under the reflection of the moonlight, each strand of hair exuded an inexplicably beautiful luster. Xianyu was combing her hair behind her. Just as Xianyu was quietly combing Xiao's hair, Xiao suddenly said, brother, are you interested in that girl? Ah. Xiao, why do you suddenly ask this? Don't change the subject, answer my question, do you like Rongrong? How can I like her? This is the first day we met, but I do have a good impression of Rongrong. Xiao suddenly turned around and looked at Xianyu and said, good impressions will only increase, and slowly turn into love. Especially for a man like you, it's only a matter of time before it turns into love. Doesn't Xiao know how great Xianyu's personality charm is? Your future is not just here, and I shouldn't selfishly possess you alone. Xiao Wu is not an ordinary girl. Don't forget that she was a 100,000-year-old soul beast before. She knows a little about things outside the mainland. Sometimes she even suspects that Xianyu is a god outside the mainland, because his ability is too amazing and completely inconsistent with the common sense of the mainland. Whether it is the super many martial souls on Xianyu's body, the spiritual world, or those demon generals, they all seem to be things from this world. Xiao Wu, what's wrong with you today? You actually asked me to find sisters for you. After saying that, he touched Xiao Wu's forehead with his hand and said, don't you have a fever? Oh asshole brother, I'm serious with you. Okay, my lovely Xiao Wu. Xianyu touched Xiao Wu's bunny head and said, your brother is not stupid. Since you agree, I won't be polite. Okay, brother, did you have this idea before? Oh, I was discovered. Brother, you scumbag. Xiao Wu threw Xianyu directly on the bed. In the early morning, the sunlight shone through the glass in front of the window and shone on the faces of this pair of fairy lovers. Xiao Wu's ears moved, and then she woke up. After waking up, Xiao Wu did nothing, just lying quietly in Xianyu's arms, looking at Xianyu's beautiful sleeping face. Xianyu seemed to feel something and opened his eyes. Xiao Wu, are you awake? Should we get up then? Brother, I want to stay in bed for a while longer. Xiao Wu buried her head in Xianyu's arms and said, okay, then I'll stay in bed with you. Xianyu hugged Xiao Wu in his arms tighter. Then Xianyu and Xiao Wu stayed in bed for more than half an hour. Just when Tianyu was about to take Xiao Wu to the city to buy some delicious food, in the square of Shrek Academy, a little fat boy with red hair yelled, Kihua, why did you break up with me? Standing opposite the fat boy was a young girl, who blushed and said, you are very good to me, but I can't stand you. We are not suitable, you should find someone else. Please, don't look for me again in the future. The little fat boy Ma Hongjin said angrily, what do you mean you can stand me? I really don't understand what you women are thinking. Xianyu, who was not far away, had a strange look on his face. The little fat boy was about to pull the girl's hand after he finished speaking. Keho begged, "No, no. Just let me go. Are you a human being?" Xiao couldn't bear it anymore. "Stop it." The fat man was stunned and looked at Xiao. The fat man's eyes lit up. "What a beautiful girl. What, do you want to be my girlfriend in her place?" "Okay, I agree. Get lost." Xiao was very angry now, and she wanted to teach this fat man a lesson. Hearing what Xiao Wu said, the little fat man's face suddenly darkened. "This is our business, don't mind your own business. Since you don't want to be my girlfriend, just get out of here." When Xiao Wu really couldn't help but take action, Tianyu pulled Xiao Wu behind him. "You don't have to do it, I'll do it. Your name is Ma Hongjin, right? Please let that girl go." Ma Hongjin snorted disdainfully. "Who do you think you are, and you dare to meddle in my business?" Ha! Tianyu chuckled lightly, and in a blink of an eye, Tianyu disappeared from the spot and appeared in front of Ma Hongjin. Before Ma Hongjin could react, he was hit by a punch. With a punch, the little fat man Ma Hong flew more than 10 meters away, drawing a parabola. Chapter 23, Beat Ma Hongjin. "Tianyu, please show some mercy." At this time, Daimyo Bei just came to the square of the academy and happened to see Tianyu beating Ma Hongjin. Daimyo Bei hurried over to help Ma Hongjin, who was beaten into a pig's head, up, saying, "Why did you provoke Tianyu for no reason? Fortunately, Tianyu didn't hit him hard, otherwise you might have died today." Ma Hongjin got up and hugged Daimyo Bei's thigh and said, "Boss Dai, who is that man? How can he be so powerful? I was beaten without any ability to resist. His name is Tianyu, a new student, with a soul power of level 41 Soul Master, and a terrifying twin martial soul. Let alone you, I will only be beaten if I go up. Just get up and apologize quickly. Tianyu is still easy to talk to." Ma Hongjin heard what Daimyo Bei said, got up and wanted to hug Tianyu's thigh. Tianyu quickly avoided him with disgust. "Do you still want to be beaten?" "No, no." Ma Hongjin shook his head frantically, fearing that Tianyu would continue to beat him. "By the way, Fatty, why did Tianyu beat you up?" Fatty quickly told Daimyo Bei the cause of the incident. "Oh, so that's how it is. Then Fatty, you deserve to be beaten. What can I do? It's all my martial soul. My martial soul has mutated into the evil fire phoenix, but because of the evil fire in my body, I have needed to release the evil fire in my body since I awakened my martial soul at the age of 6. Tianyu was so awesome after hearing this. Xiao Wu blushed and said, "How can there be such a martial soul? Besides, I don't have a handsome face like you and Xiao, so it's not that easy to pick up a girlfriend, and I can date multiple girlfriends at the same time, so why would I be like this?" Daimyo Bei said, "Since the matter has been resolved, let's go have breakfast together." Xiao Wu was indeed a little hungry, and Tianyu nodded in agreement. Daimyo Bei said, "Come with me." Daimyo Bei took them to the cafeteria of the college. The so-called cafeteria is actually an agreement between the college and the village, and several villagers were hired to take care of everyone's meals. Tianyu looked at the canteen and thought, Shrek does seem to be a bit poor. Should we give some financial support to the dean? When they arrived at the canteen, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing had already arrived. Perhaps because of Tianyu's handsome battle against Xiao Wu yesterday, the two girls nodded to Tianyu when they saw them. Zhu Zhuqing was not as cold as when she first came, but Ning Rongrong's expression was obviously friendly. She smiled and showed 2 dimples on her face, looking very lovely. Ma Hongjin's eyes were straight, and he swallowed his saliva without concealing it. Daimyo Bei bumped Ma Hongjin with his hand and whispered, "Be honest, it's better to suppress your evil fire." Ma Hongjin said angrily, "Why? Are you going to do it again? I say, Dai boss, even if you are the boss, you should always leave some soup for your brothers. See for yourself, don't blame me for not reminding you." Daimyo Bei said and turned around to eat breakfast silently. Ma Hongjin turned around and let him see a scene that made him envious to death. At a table, Tianyu sat in the middle, Xiao sat on the right side of Tianyu, next to Tianyu, and even fed breakfast into Tianyu's mouth. On the left sat Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing, although not next to each other, but also very close. Tianyu is too greedy. It is not enough to have a girlfriend as beautiful as Xiao, he also wants to hug the other 2 girls into his arms. But thinking carefully, Tianyu has both strength and appearance, so it is normal that he is more popular with girls. Thinking about it this way, he felt a little more balanced, but for some reason, he still envied him Kak. Then he also came to Daimyo Bay and ate breakfast together in silence. After Xianyu and his friends finished breakfast, they went to the academy playground, because the profiteer, oh, I said it wrong, because the dean of Shrek Academy, Flanders, wanted to see them. When Xianyu and his friends arrived at the playground, Oscar, who was bleary-eyed, also came, chewing sausages in his hand. Not far away, there was also a middle-aged man walking from the other side of the playground. Xianyu and Xiao had seen this person before. He looked to be about 50 years old, with a strong body and a distinctive face. His chin protruded forward, his cheekbones were wide, his face was flat, and he had a slightly hooked nose. If one had to describe him in one way, one could only say that his face looked a bit like the sole of a shoe. Although he had his eyes closed, he looked a bit cunning. He wore a pair of black-framed crystal glasses with a rigid square frame. Flanders came to the 8 people and stopped. His unique hoarse voice with a bit of magnetism sounded, "This year is great. We have 5 more monsters in Shrek Academy. I, Flanders, the Dean of Shrek Academy, welcome you on behalf of the Academy. Later, each of you will hand in 100 gold souls to Mr. Lee, who is in charge of finance." Mubei. Dean. Mubei stepped forward. He seemed to respect Flanders very much, and even had a bit of admiration for him. Flanders said, 5 more juniors are here. You will tell them the rules of the academy later. Then go back and rest, and try to restore your condition to the best level. The first class of the day will start in the evening. Mubei was speechless. Can Xianyu be called a junior? I feel like I am a junior. Flanders waved his hand and said, you can go to rest. Remember, before dark, get yourself in the best condition. Don't blame me for not reminding you. The teaching in this academy is different from other places, you may even face danger. On the way back to the dormitory, Xiao Wu said, brother, what kind of training do you think the dean will give us? What can it be? No matter what kind of training it is, it may be of some use to you, but for me it can be regarded as pure fitness, which has no effect. Xianyu's physique is so strong now that even he himself doesn't know. Pure physical training has no effect on him. So, brother, are you going tonight? Yes, why not? I still have to give face to the dean. If I don't go to the first training tonight, it will leave a bad impression on everyone. After all, everyone is training hard. If you are the only one sleeping in the dormitory, no one will have a good impression of you. Besides, I'm not that kind of person. Chapter 24, Take Ning Rongrong to take off. 7 Treasure Glazed Sect. Meeting Hall. On the north side of the hall, the main seat facing south is a large rosewood carved chair, with a huge jade inlaid on the back of the chair. The jade is emerald green, exuding a faint warm breath. It is a piece of top-grade warm jade. A person is sitting on a large rosewood carved chair. This person has a face like a crown jade, a straight nose and a square mouth, and a gentle and elegant appearance. He is wearing a spotless white robe. He looks about 40 years old, with a gentle look, and looks like an ordinary person. His smooth black hair is scattered behind his back, and everything looks so casual, without any pretense. At this time, he is looking at a young man kneeling on the ground below, wearing a white tights. Reporting to the sect master, the young lady has arrived at Shrek Academy and successfully passed the exam. The young man said respectfully. The middle-aged man nodded, with a helpless look on his face. It's good for this little ancestor to go out and hone her skills, otherwise the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile sect will be overthrown by her. How's the situation at Shrek Academy? Please forgive me, sect master. There is at least 1 soul sage and several soul emperor level powerhouses in Shrek Academy. I am incompetent and cannot go in to investigate. However, I have given the letter you asked me to give to the teachers of Shrek Academy, and it will definitely fall into the hands of their dean. The middle-aged man smiled. Flanders, you are really an idealistic man. I want to see what you can educate my daughter into. Perhaps, only after leaving home, the little witch will be more sensible. Okay, you go down. Yes, sect master. The young man quickly stepped back. A vigorous and powerful voice rang out in the hall, and the sound seemed to come from all directions, shaking the hall. Feng Shui, are you so confident leaving Rongrong alone outside? Can the teaching in Shrek Academy be better than ours? No, I want to go and bring Rongrong back. I'm worried about her being out there. As the voice appeared, An old man with white hair and beard, but a face as delicate as a baby's, walked out from the back hall and sat down on a chair next to the sect leader Ning Fengzi. Ning Fengzi showed helplessness. Uncle Jian, just for you and Uncle Gu, I can't let this girl stay in the sect. You really dote on her too much, and this girl can't be disciplined at home. Let her go out to receive education and maybe she will change. Uncle Jian said dissatisfiedly. Who said we spoiled Rongrong? You only saw Rongrong's side that likes to play around, but didn't see her well-behaved side. You have many sons, but you only have this one daughter. You really can't bear to let her go. Ning Fengzi said decisively, Uncle Jian, no matter what, I will not go to find her this time, and you and Uncle Long can't go either. You don't need to worry about Rongrong's safety at all. The dean of that Shrek Academy was the top leader of the Golden Iron Triangle. It is impossible for him not to recognize the martial spirit of our 7 treasures, glazed tile sect. With his protection, Rongrong will be fine. Uncle Jian snorted angrily, if Rongrong has any problems, I will hold you responsible. My body is a little tight, I'll go find old Gulan to stretch my muscles. Not to mention in the 7 treasure glazed tile sect, even in the entire Douluo Continent, there are not many people who dare to speak to Ning Fengzi like this. And the old man in front of him is obviously one of them. Although Ning Fengzi looks to be in his 40s, in fact, he is already over 60 years old. Ning Rongrong is his youngest child and only daughter. As night fell, the dean of Shrek Academy, the four-eyed cat owl Flanders, was standing on the playground, looking at all 8 students in front of him. Daimyu Bei, Tang San, Ma Hongjin, and Zhu Zhuqing, who looked cold but neat, were all ready for the evening class, and they were all energetic. Of course, except Tianyu. Tianyu yawned lazily, and what was even more annoying was that this guy looked very handsome even when he was sleepy. The fat man was envious. Flanders waved his hand and said, since everyone is here, let's go. After saying that, he stood on tiptoe, and a pair of wings appeared behind him, allowing him to instantly take off and fly forward. Everyone hurried to catch up, and Flanders always maintained a very fast speed. At this time, the strength gap between the 5 students was seen. Following closely behind Flanders was Daimyu Bei, the evil-eyed white tiger with the deepest soul power. Behind Daimyu Bei was not Tang San, but Zhu Zhuqing, so he and Xiao Wu were tied for 3rd place. Tang San's ghost shadow trail was exquisite, but in terms of straight-line distance acceleration, he was not as good as Zhu Zhuqing, a spirit master of the agility attack system. So he was in 4th place. Ma Hongjin was in 5th place, and Ning Rongrong and Oscar, who were assistants, were definitely the last. But there was another figure who was traveling with Ning Rongrong and the others. Yes, that person was Tianyu, and Tianyu was still running lazily and slowly. As the one with the highest soul power among the 8 people, but the one who runs the slowest, who would believe that it was not intentional? Flanders, who was flying in the air, was also a little unhappy when he saw Tianyu's lazy look. But he didn't say anything and continued to move forward in the air. Sure enough, Ning Rongrong, who as the assistant, was already panting after running for a while, and clear beads of sweat slid from her face to her fair neck. Tianyu ran on the right side of Ning Rongrong and said, Rongrong, are you tired? Ning Rongrong wiped the sweat on her face and said, yeah, a little. Tianyu looked at her and saw that she was obviously very tired, but she still insisted that it was only a little. Sure enough, she was a silly girl. Tianyu stretched out his hand and said in a magnetic voice, give me your hand. Although Ning Rongrong didn't know what Tianyu was going to do, she still stretched out her hand obediently. After holding Ning Rongrong's soft hand, Tianyu activated his soul power, and a pair of wings of light appeared beside him. Before Ning Rongrong could react, Tianyu pulled her into his arms at super speed and picked her up, then flew forward at a very fast speed, and soon left Tang San and the others behind. Tang San and the others only felt a flash of light above their heads, and Tianyu and Ning Rongrong behind them disappeared. Xiao Wu said angrily, brother is so partial, I am obviously very tired too. Tianyu's speed was very fast, and soon he also surpassed Flanders. I was wondering why this kid was running slowly behind, it turns out that he had bad intentions. Ning Rongrong and Tianyu's arms hugged Tianyu tightly. She raised her head and looked at Tianyu's handsome face. The blush on her face spread to her ears. She had never had such close contact with a boy since she was a child. This was the first time she was held in the arms of a boy other than her relatives. Ning Rongrong did not reject or move around, but quietly buried herself in Xianyu's arms and let him fly with her. The author is so pitiful, no one voted. Today's first update. Chapter 25, Soto City Great Fighting Spirit Arena. Xianyu held Ning Rongrong in his arms and flew forward for a while. Xianyu was very fast. After a while, he saw a light not far ahead. It was Soto City, which was also the destination of their trip. Xianyu landed directly on the street of Soto City. Although it was night, the streets of Soto City were the most lively at night. At this time, there were many people of all kinds on the streets of Soto City. Seeing someone suddenly landing from the sky also attracted a lot of attention. Who is it, who is pretending to be cool? It dazzled my eyes. Not to mention, the wings of light behind Xianyu were really dazzling. Xianyu put away the wings of light and wanted to put Ning Rongrong down. It turned out that this silly girl was still hanging on him and didn't even know that they had arrived. Xianyu whispered in Ning Rongrong's ear, "Rongrong, we are here." Ning Rongrong woke up instantly, and then came out of Xianyu's arms. Although she had calmed down, there was still a little blush on her face. The crowd on the street also became lively when they saw this boy and girl with fairy-like appearance who suddenly appeared. They were all amazed at the appearance of Xianyu and Ning Rongrong. Xianyu didn't like this kind of look, so he took Ning Rongrong's hand and left the crowd in a flash. After leaving the crowd, Ning Rongrong didn't let go of Xianyu's hand, but said, "Xianyu, where am I going?" "The Soto City Fighting Soul Arena. The Dean and others will be there." When Xianyu and Ning Rongrong walked to the Soto City Fighting Soul Arena hand in hand, Tang San and his friends just arrived. Ning Rongrong saw Xiao Wu looking over here, and quickly let go of Xianyu's hand. Xiao Wu also wanted to laugh when she saw this scene. Flanders saw Xianyu and Ning Rongrong arrive, and also said, "Since everyone is here, let's go in." The appearance of the Soto City Fighting Soul Arena is a very tall and magnificent oval building. It is nearly 200 meters high, and the interior is divided into a main Fighting Soul Arena and 24 sub-Fighting Soul Arenas. It can accommodate more than 60,000 spectators at the same time, including 100 VIP boxes. This is not only a place for Soul Masters to exchange ideas, but also a place for various forces to show their strength. The level of a spirit is a sign of a Spirit Master's strength, and spirit rings are the best way to express it. However, this does not represent a Spirit Master's true ability. Only the title obtained through one's own efforts in the Great Fighting Soul Arena is the best reflection of one's own strength. Soul Masters of any level are represented by the word Fighting Soul after entering the Great Fighting Soul Arena. After winning the first game, they will get a badge. After that, every victory will give them a certain amount of points. When the points reach a certain level, the level of the badge will be upgraded. This badge is a symbol of the level in the Great Fighting Soul Arena, and it is universal in all main cities across the continent. There are many benefits to having a high-level badge, so I will not explain it in detail. The level of the badge is divided according to the quality of the mineral. The lowest is the Iron Badge, which is the Iron Fighting Soul. The levels above are Bronze, Silver, Gold, Purple Gold, Star Diamond, King, and Glory. There are 8 levels in total. At this point, Flender said, "The task I give you is to get at least the Silver Fighting Soul Badge before graduation. Do you understand? Don't think that it's easy to get the Silver Fighting Spirit Badge." Mubai and Hongjin have been participating in actual combat here for more than a year. Mubai, tell the 3 of them what the requirements are for upgrading the badge level here, as well as your combat records. Dai Mubai said, "I started participating in the Soto Grand Soul Fighting Arena when I was level 29. I have fought a total of 56 battles, and my current record is 29 wins and 27 losses. My current points are 2. To upgrade from an Iron Soul Fighting to a Bronze Soul Fighting, you need 100 points. You will get 1 point for each victory, but if you lose a battle, you will also lose a point accordingly. If you win more than 5 games in a row, then for each consecutive victory, the points will increase by 10 directly. If you win more than 10 games in a row, you will increase by 100 for each victory. Even if you successfully advance to the Bronze Soul Fighting, as long as your points drop below 100, you will be disqualified from the Bronze Soul Fighting. To upgrade from a Bronze Soul Fighting to a Silver Soul Fighting, you need 100 points. In a battle between Bronze Soul Fighting, you will get 10 points for each victory, and lose 10 points for each loss. The proportion of points gained from consecutive wins is the same as that for Iron Soul fighting. Tang San had some understanding of Daimyo Bei's strength. After hearing what he said, he couldn't help but be secretly surprised. Mu Bei, with your strength, you only have 29 wins and 27 losses? How is this possible? Your martial spirit should be a very powerful beast martial spirit. Daimyo Bei smiled bitterly and said, nothing is impossible. The Great Soul Fighting Arena is not such an easy place to get into. There are 3 ways of playing here. One is called playing, which is of the nature of learning, which is the rule I just mentioned. It is divided into groups according to the level, or according to the number of soul rings. Once you have an extra soul ring, you can only participate in the next group of games. When I was at level 29, I won 4 games in a row. When I was about to start getting 10 times the points for winning streak, my strength was also raised to level 30 and I got the 3rd soul ring. After that, I lost more than 10 games in a row and my points became negative. With the same 3 soul rings, how can I, who is at level 30, win against opponents at levels 38 or 39? If you want to win streak here, you must participate in the game for a period of time at level 29, and then stop participating after reaching level 30, and then play the game again after reaching level 39. But our goal is actual combat, so we naturally can't do that, so my record is naturally worse. My points are not as high as the fat man. Ma Hongjin continued, my record is 22 losses in 33 battles, 11 wins, and 9 points. Flanders told Xianyu and the others the remaining simple rules as they walked. Here, fighting spirits are divided into 3 categories. One is gaming, which means learning from each other, and it is forbidden to kill people. Another is a life and death fight, which is used to resolve irreconcilable disputes. The last one is a gambling fight. The Grand Fighting Soul Arena is the referee, and both sides of the gambling fight send the same number of soul masters to compete, and the final winner will get everything in the bet. The gambling fight is first of all life and death fight. Many nobles and clans often use this method when they have huge conflicts with each other. There are also 3 forms of competition, 1-on-1, 2-on-2 and group battle. Among them, the number of people on both sides of the group battle is negotiated and stipulated. According to the rules of the Grand Fighting Soul Arena, it is generally within the limit of 7 to 10 people. Entering the Great Soul Fighting Arena, the first thing that caught my eye was a huge stone tablet with densely engraved names. Flanders told Xianyu and the others that these names were all those who died in the soul fighting arena. It was very simple to register for the soul fighting arena here. You only needed to fill out a form including your name, age, birthplace, and martial soul to receive the initial Iron Soul Fighting badge. Of course, each person also needed to pay 10 gold coins as the registration fee. Vote I need vote, the second update today. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.